It's an all-Penske front row. Two champions, Blaney and Logano. It's go time in Atlanta.
See that inside line all linked together. The outside line needs to tighten it up a little bit to create a little bit momentum for the 12 of Blaney.
Already 3 wide. Hocevar in a 77 going out against the fence. Got his teammate right behind him, Michael McDowell.
Oh, in the fence just a little bit. McDowell, a little brush with the right front fender, I believe. Car gets really tight on that flat tri-oval. When you're right up behind somebody, you lose the nose.
Blaney jumps out front. He controls. Larson looking inside of Logano. Dillon rallying up to second and a 3.
Oh, somebody in the wall back there in the back. It looks like Brad Keselowski.
Qualified inside the top 10. So good in the draft.
Everybody skirting by. Did a really nice job up ahead. Good communication. On board with Brad, you see him off the pace.
And 1 inside on the paint. 3 more single cars back here to stay up there and feel it out.
It looked like it got a little bit tighter loose, just up into the wall with the right rear.
It's a BuildSubmarines.com onboard camera.
Logano, who was going backwards a half a lap ago, back up to second.
The give and take in the draft.
Yeah, it's so crazy how quickly these runs come and go. Let's see what happens to the 6, bottom right of the screen. I can't tell. Oh, it looked like it got tight first, and then it overcorrected, a big loose wiggle. Hocevar in the picture. Nothing to do with it, I believe, but and he seems to be around all the chaos.
There will be finger pointing,
oh,
right?
for sure. Watch this. Let's ride on board with the 6, bottom right.
There he gets down in the corner here and just gets a little bit loose right there, Steve. And
yeah,
kind of just not a lot of room to correct the car. Gets into the fence just a little bit. Brad's still on the racetrack, making laps, trying to make sure everything's in good shape. Artie, what you got on the 6?
Yeah, just to clean it up, that's what Brad said. What you said, Dale, just got too free, as Steve and you pointed out. And he said he described the wall contact as just a brush, but you heard TJ Majors say feeling it out for now, only 5 laps into the race.
Seems like that there's good comfort in turn 1 and 2 for the cars. They get down into turn 1 and 2. They all stay tight around the bottom of the racetrack. But down in turn 3 and 4, I see a lot of cars in the front, in the middle of the field, drive up the racetrack. They're all chasing the race cars into turn 3. Everyone really uncomfortable. The 48 almost busts his tail right there. Everybody goes into turn 3 not really knowing if the back's going to be underneath the car, and a lot of guys are getting surprises.
13 cautions in the race here last night, and most of the action was over in turns 3 and 4. We'll follow the progress of the drivers there this evening.
It's so interesting. Turn 1 and 2, again, more comfort, more grip, not as many moments. Down in 3, you're getting down in that corner. You don't know what you're going to get, and you don't want to be in a bad spot aero-wise like the 43 is of Eric Jones or the 19. Those are not good spots to be in aero-wise, tucked in behind cars or in the middle of a 3 wide.
33. Austin Hill turns left. That's the other thing, is this wide straightaway allows you to kind of get 3 wide. There he is around the bottom. Man, the 19 and the 1 were stacked up on that 3rd lane.
Briscoe wanted to get to the right rear quarter panel, but they ended up going 3 wide in front of him. Wisely backs out of that moment.
Austin Hill looks like the machine right now. He got 2 the last set of corners. Now he is in the middle of the track, right around the outside of the 48.
Plus 18 for driver 33. This is a home game for him. Austin Hill from Winston, Georgia, about an hour away from the track.
And the 48 had that moment in 3 and 4, and he's going backwards, just not comfortable with the back of the car in turn 3 and 4. Got a good pace right there, turn 1 and 2, but sort of backing up to everybody, kind of holding everybody up here.
His teammates right behind him now, 24, blue and white Chevrolet, William Byron. And right behind him, last week's winner, Chase Briscoe on the move in the 19.
A little bit of room between everybody here as we go back to the front of the field, and that's telling me handling is a premium right now. So cars can drive away from each other, cars can get a little grip. You see how they're fanning out, Steve,
That's
creating
right.
air for each other, making it as comfortable as they can for their partners and their teammates.
In line on the straightaway, now watching the corner, right? Up a lane, down half a lane for the 22 of Logano.
Penske cars working well together early, Marty.
A moment ago, you guys talked about Austin Hill making some moves. How about Austin Cindric from 8th to 3rd, and exactly the position that Team Penske wants him. These three cars working together. You heard Ryan Blaney talk about it in the pre-race show, saying, hey, we want to work together, and it's kind of to control pace, Dale, but it's really more to protect. They can keep people from making moves, especially when they get single file like this. Roger Penske was in the team meeting this morning, said #1 objective today, work together. And when you can make this happen with three cars, Dale, it makes a big difference.
They have the clean air advantage, so that's helping their cars handle better. The rest of the field, they're driving away from them because everybody behind them is struggling in that dirty air, and the balance of all these cars not very good. The rest of the field back there all fighting to try to find some clean air and good balance. And a lot of guys just need adjustments. No practice, no laps other than the lap they had in qualifying. There's a lot of guys just waiting for an opportunity to get to pit road to work on the car.
That yellow car, the bottom of your screen, Hocevar ripped around the bottom of 3 and 4, got to the inside of the 3. Now he's going to chase his teammate, the 7 of Suarez, down in the corner. 77 looking good, but unable to complete this pass. Behind him, the 23 of Bubba Wallace.
We'll see where Bubba goes with any kind of momentum he has. Probably the top of the racetrack. You see the 5 car of Larson's closed the gap a little bit. He's up the racetrack, running down the trio of the Penske cars.
I just love the balance. We said speed versus handling. Yes, I'll take both. I want a good handling, fast race car.
It's 1, 2, 3 Team Penske right now, and leading the way Ryan Blaney. He's led in the last 5 races of the campaign. Go inside the race with NASCAR Driver Cam, presented by Straight Talk Wireless. Access every in-car camera with driver data, multi-view, full-team audio, and more. Watch NASCAR Driver Cam all season long only on HBO Max. 19 laps in here at EchoPark Speedway. It continues to be Ryan Blaney showing the way. He's led all of them so far from the pole.
Yeah, and that's what's going to be exciting for me is they can run all 60 laps on fuel and tires. The field already spreading out because of handling. Penske cars working together. This 5 purposely running up the racetrack for some cleaner air.
Yeah, everybody's starting to get a little bit closer. You see the 77 back there, the 3 as well of Austin Dillon. Really fascinating to watch the Penske cars go in the corner and fan out. You know, the 12's kind of running up the racetrack, giving Joey a little clean air. Joey's giving the 2 a little clean air. That's keeping their tires happy, keeping their cars turning, but it's allowing the rest of the field to close the gap just a little bit.
What do you have for us, Shannon?
Let's talk about Daniel Suarez, who's currently running 9th, you guys. He was part of that wild finish 2 years ago here at the track. Says he doesn't know why he's been so good. Gives a lot of credit to the cars he's had. His car is pretty good right now. He says it's fast. He is able to hook the line in 3 and 4, but he did say that his rear view camera is vibrating. What does that do for a driver inside the car with such tight quarters?
Oh, that rear view camera is an absolute tool. That's what they get 3 wide. So if there's any sort of issue with it, that really just taking a tool away from this driver. It's probably fine right now, but in those last few laps of the race, when you have to make those aggressive moves, we'll have to see if it bothers the driver at the 7.
Yeah, they got so accustomed to having such a clear view. Having any kind of a blurred view out the back will be tough to be able to know how to defend. See Larson now, do the Penske cars change what they're doing? Now Larson's going to get to this right rear quarter panel of the 2. As when the 12, the lead car, goes up the racetrack in the middle of the corner, that's allowing a draft for this 5 car to utilize. So he's drafting a little bit off of the lead car here.
Larson's been pretty patient in that HendrickCars.com Chevy.
He's trying to get to the right rear quarter panel of the 2 car. Now as the 77 and the 3 close in, that's going to create a little energy for the 5. It's going to push this 5 car right around the outside of the 2 as the 77 and the 3 get back there. It's kind of like a beach ball between the 5 and the 77, and it'll push that 5 car forward. 2's getting a push here. He's going to block the 5. Now that's going to really take away comfort and ability for the 5 and negate any run that he could put together. So now the 2 went to a defensive line there, Steve, in the middle of the corner that he was not running before.
Yeah, he was just kind of following team orders. Now he has to look out the back and the front, back to the bottom. This is let the 5 climb the hill. The 77 going to look to the bottom of the 5, or really just trying to get some clean air. And now it's about trying to get the right push at the right time for these 2 cars.
Hocevar on the move. Here he goes again, diving to the inside of Larson.
He's going to clear Larson. Now Larson's going to push this 77. He might be able to get a run and put that together to be able to go up there and try to battle Cindric. Danielle, what you got on the 77?
Man, he's on the move, Dale. He started 14th. He's now in the 4th position. His spotter said your pace is really good, but Carson is saying, I didn't think the 3 was fast enough to push me. Now he has the 5 behind him. Dale, what's it like as a driver to feel these guys out and know who you want to work with?
Yeah, you can just kind of see the 77 can wrap the bottom better. Now he's going to pull up alongside the 2. The 77 has better turn. The 5 is struggling with tight. We heard that from Marty earlier. So the 5 car can't make the front turn in the corner. So he can't make these runs and moves that Hocevar can. He's struggling just a little bit. Had to lift out of the gas right there, did Larson. Hocevar's like, get up here and help me a little bit. Just need a little help to be able to get by this 2, but Kyle can't run the bottom. The car doesn't turn, the front doesn't work. Gonna have to work on that a little bit. So he needs to run this high groove to keep the momentum up and be able to stay in this draft.
I would say Hocevar's personality matches the personality of the new Atlanta. Just wide open, unpredictable. He's been doing a good job early, up to 4th. Won our last drafting race. You saw the graphic moments ago at Talladega.
How about the last winner here at Atlanta, the 45 of Tyler Reddick. He's up over 20 spots already to the back bumper of the 19, up to the 8th position. That win in the spring was missing a right front fender on the warmer racetrack. I think that'd be a little bit harder to do, but the 45 has got it figured out.
Yeah.
Watch him climb the hill, right side of the screen. He kind of goes to the top, he's able to just carry more speed through the middle of the corner, and that gives him a run down the straightaway.
Yeah, you see on the left side of the screen the 3 of Dillon to the inside of the 5, but this is answering the question you asked earlier, Adam, about the Toyotas that qualified in the back. Was that built-in downforce and drag that maybe made their cars not qualify as well, but now as we're getting deep into this tire run, the handling comes into play and they drive to the front.
Let's go down to Shannon, updating Tyler Reddick, 7th now.
Yeah, let's talk about the guy who is on the move right there, Tyler Reddick, already up to the 7th position. His crew chief told me even though they qualified back in the field, he felt like the car had speed, said they just got loose in qualifying. Tyler has been pretty quiet on the radio, guys. He said the car is pretty good right now, but it is all about track position, getting to the front, because we know what he can do if he gets there.
Plus 24, going to be plus 25 soon. Incredible start, first half of stage 1.
Yeah, some lap cars creating some dynamic situations right here. Look at the 45 with the momentum. 5 has to get out of the gas, all this dirty air. His car's tight. The 45 just full throttle right around the top. I expect Reddick to drive right around these cars and start to go up there and challenge the Penske Fords.
That's what I want to see, right? We have 3 Fords leading the pack. The rest of the Fords kind of back half, back third of the field. So it doesn't look like the Fords have a huge advantage here. It's Team Penske. That's the standout. Can they have the same success if they lose track position? Now, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll manage the race all night long, but these 3 at the front doing an amazing job.
Ryan Blaney on a career hot streak, been top 10 last 7 races. That's the best stretch he's ever enjoyed at NASCAR's top level. He's out front right now. Logano, Cindric, Hocevar, Austin Dillon, the rest of the top 5. Trade the biggest moments in racing on Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TNT to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, trade what's next. You're watching the Quaker State 400, available at Walmart. 22 to go, stage 1.
And 45 car is on the scene. We talk about Tyler Reddick. This 45 not only has decent speed, but outstanding handling. He's the first driver to really put a move on these 3 Penske cars. It's going to be tough, though, without somebody pushing him.
Yeah. Cindric's kind of been the blocker for the 3 Penske Fords, and he's getting a little bit tired of doing his job. He wants to get up here, and he's kind of got to be the one.
77, so we can work together to break this guy's up.
That's
there you go.
Great idea. 77 needs to get up there a little bit, and there's nobody behind him either to really help him build some momentum. Here comes the 5 back on the scene. He's past Austin Dillon. The 5 car, Larson's, went way up the racetrack to find a little bit of turn.
Best way to find an ally is to have like enemies. And right now, that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, Larson got a great run from the top of the racetrack to the inside of Hocevar down there, so he takes that spot away. Hocevar fading just a little bit.
Front row Fords struggling. We've already seen the 4 of Noah Gragson go down a lap. Now we see the 34 of Gilliland also struggling.
Next car that would be in line to go a lap down, Brad Keselowski, who had those early problems.
Reddick using the 6 car as a tow right here. I think he was looking up. And unfortunately, he's going to have to get back in line, I think, to get by the 6.
11 car. Denny Hamlin not able to climb through the field. Our points leader sitting back there in 23rd position. Hardy, what you got on the 11?
Yeah, Dale, to your point, the other side of the regular season championship battle, Denny Hamlin's gone nowhere. 5 spots gained for Hamlin, and that is it. And what the odd part is that I talked to Chris Gale before the day started, and he said, we have really struggled to know what to give Denny here setup-wise. So we migrated closer to what the 45 and 23 have. It's worked for them. It has not worked for Hamlin so far. His quote to the team a moment ago, very edgy on the extremities and too tight at max load.
Well, we got a long way to go, but points the name of the game. Reddick got a great shot to get some here with only 18 to go stage 1. Here he goes after the 2.
Yeah, he shoved that 2 down into turn 3, but I think the momentum from the top is going to help the 2 maintain the position. He's going to try to side draft and slow him down. The 5 of Larson's coming onto the scene. Larson to the inside, maybe 3 wide here. Larson has to back out. Reddick back to the bottom of the racetrack. Can't quite clear the 2.
Reddick's like, if you would have just pushed me, I'd have gone by the 2.
Those guys getting racy.
It's an awesome line right here this 5 car's running. He's going to have a great run down this front straightaway. I'll be interested to see if he does much with it. Found something right there at the top of the racetrack up against the wall. He has to lift, allowing the 45 to run the top, so he has to go somewhere else to get that clean air. The 45 with a big run down the back straightaway going to the inside. Going to side draft a little bit down the back straightaway, not going to clear the 2. 2's going to drag him back a little bit on the quarter panel. Going to run him tight here to try to side draft and keep that 45 from clearing. Reddick up the racetrack, almost contact right there. Again, here comes a 5. Going to go 3 wide once more.
5's got a big run, though. He's going to clear the 45. Will he get the 2? Can he slide up in front of Cindric? He will.
Look at Hocevar. He said, I'm going to join the party. Looking down low on Reddick.
What a move by Larson. And there you go. Mission accomplished. One of the Penske Fords split up from the trio.
I mean, it didn't take them 4 or 5 laps before they were 1, 2, 3 in a running order. And now finally we've got someone up there in between him with Larson jumping to 3rd.
Larson back to the inside here for 2nd. Got a good push off the nose of the 2 down the front straightaway. Got the momentum into the corner. Can he wrap it? He's going to clear the 22. Logano tied up the racetrack.
You called it. It's all the top at 3 and 4. Watch where Larson goes right here down in 3 and 4. He has been running the absolute top of the racetrack. This time Blaney goes up. Larson goes higher, all the way to the wall.
22 down low. Not much of a threat to this 5 car.
13 to go in this opening stage. Blaney has led them all, but he's got some fast ones behind him. Larson is there. Reddick has turned it up.
Side by side off the corner, Larson is going to get to the quarter panel. Side draft, the 12 car down the back straightaway. He's going to move away into turn 3. Wrap the corner. He's clear if he wants it. 12's coming back on the outside. Side by side down the front straightaway here.
A couple of champions going at it for the race lead. 12 to go in the stage. Blaney back out in front. And now Reddick right in their hip pocket. 45 looking low. Wow.
Man, he cut the 45 off right there, Adam.
And keep in mind, the white and yellow line out of bounds. You go down there and advance your position, you will be penalized.
3 wide back there with Hocevar with a move to the inside. He's going to carry that momentum around the 2, but he's not going to clear the 22. Here comes the 45 to the inside for second on Larson. Reddick trying to clear. He's going to clear Larson right there. Reddick into second.
This puts Reddick at plus 29. Qualified outside the top 30 yesterday. We talked about it. Toyota's not great in the qualifying session, but Boyd Reddick has come to play tonight.
It's allowed the 12 car to drive away. They're going to run him down, though, quickly. Him out there running by himself.
Cindric faded back to 6th. Blaney continues to lead, but Reddick is there. The end of the stage when we return on TNT. NASCAR on TNT, back at Atlanta. Xfinity fastest lap belongs to Tyler Reddick. Springtime winner here on the move, up to second here behind Blaney.
We're going to have an epic battle for this stage win right here. We've talked about Reddick's loss of the point lead. Denny Hamlin mired back in the 19th position. I don't believe he's going to score stage points. Reddick is thinking 10 if I could get by Blaney in this 12 car.
A couple other cars that possibly will be happy about the finish of the stage in the top 10. You got to look at Logano, Cindric, even Hocevar, Briscoe, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, all those guys trying to gather as many points as they can. A lot of cars around them in the points, not up in the top 10, able to capitalize.
Hunt Brothers onboard camera. Talk about Logano, came in below the cut line by 16. Looking back at his teammates, Cindric came in plus 27. You see the balance of the bubble here. And a couple of guys have gone a lap down around the bubble. We talked about Brad Keselowski, add Ryan Priest to that group. Ross Chastain a lap down, as will be 2 to go stage 1 here.
Blaney's just having to look in the mirror and run defense. You see him go up the racetrack, 45 up the track, I'm going up the track. 45 down the track, I'm going down the track. But here comes the 45, using the momentum from the high side of turn 3 and 4. Gets to the inside. Can he wrap the bottom? He's got the momentum. He's going to almost clear. Blaney's going to stay on the right rear quarter panel down the back straightaway. Can the 45 slow him down with the side draft?
Got some lap cars in front of him as well. Going to be 1 to go in the stage here. Team Penske has won stage 1 in 5 of the last 7 at Atlanta.
And I actually think the lap cars are an advantage to Blaney. I think he's getting the draft on the cars up the road. So at a downforce track, this is the difference between Atlanta and other tracks. I think Blaney's going to have a little bit of a toe, help his straight line speed.
Final lap, stage 1, off of turn 2, around the lap cars. You know, when Cindric won stage 1 here in the springtime, he started way back in the pack after a crash at Daytona. Reddick rallying in stage 1 tonight, but not going to be enough. Ryan Blaney back to the green and white checkered flag. It's his 4th stage victory here at Atlanta.
I thought it was going to be a draft. It was more of a pick by Ryan Blaney using the traffic. Nice job by driver 12.
Reddick doesn't get the win, but he gets huge stage points. You think about where Larson fits into the equation. Logano gets a bunch. Good effort for Cindric. And here's what happened on that final lap.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact right here almost on the corner exit of turn 2.
The 45's just trying to get to the door, trying to pull that 12th car back with the side draft, and he couldn't do it.
The other thing I would say here, that's a little bit of a dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
Into stage 2, more importantly, what we could see at the end of the race. Stage 1 done in Atlanta.
Hocevar's radio saying they
NASCAR Cup Series racing on TNT is brought to you by Brestree. Visit us at brestree.com. Where's Mamba?
You never know if you're looking at that view right now. I'm on top of the building. It's amazing up here to watch this race from. Right behind me, actually, you guys can see it. The spotters for the Cup Series drivers are right over here. I actually just watched the spotter for the number 45 at Tyler Reddick and the spotter for Ryan Blaney, Tim Fido. They just had a little chat. All good racing and fun up here. They're having a good time watching this race and working their tails off over here. But actually, when I talked to Tyler Green, the spotter for Carson Hocevar, I said, man, what's the toughest place about this place? He said it's turn 4. He said it's really hard to clear cars when they're so tight coming off of turn 4. And guys, honestly, we see that a lot. That's where the most incidents happen. It seems to be off of turn 4, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to manage from the spotter stand and how the game changes here just because as we talk about so much, how quickly things unfold.
Yeah, we talk a lot about real estate on the racetrack. I will point out, just before we get to these pit stops, 30 cars on the lead lap. These are the shortest pit boxes of this season. So when you think about big mile-and-a-half racetrack that doesn't jump out, you think Martinsville or Bristol. But just keep in mind, a very long pit roads, we see a lot of speeding penalties and very clear communication in and out of the pit box. Not a lot of real estate.
Blaney leading them down. Reddick, Larson, Logano, Cindric, the top 5. Execution so big here. You get control of the race. Now you want to maintain it. Making their way to the traditional pit road. Here's Shannon.
Yeah, Adam, from 31st to 2nd, what a run for Tyler Reddick. He has cut into that points lead Denny Hamlin had by just 9 back right now. He said the car is loose, but it got better as the track went on and rubbered up a little bit and got a little bit tighter. So they're just going to do 4 tires and wait on fuel, Danielle.
Same for Carson Hocevar. A fantastic first stage. Started 14th, got up to 6th. They're taking 4 tires, 2 cans of fuel. They told Carson, you'll be waiting on fuel. Do not go on the jack man. Go on the fuel man, Anthony Pursuit. Marty?
Kyle Larson said it was really lane dependent for his handling. Too tight on the bottom. The middle and the top were much more neutral. Wire to wire for Ryan Blaney. Bottom of your screen for the stage 1 win. He said the car starts free, but just lost overall grip. And according to him, it was kind of interesting how big of a swing the handling move was.
Blaney has the number 1 pit stall after winning the pole, but he goes back 2 as Reddick jumps in front of Larson as the first 2 out. Dillon comes out behind him, and there you see the difference coming off the pit lane. Ryan Preece gets the free pass. He's back on the lead lap. Stage 2 next on TNT.
Ryan Blaney leads every lap of stage 1 to earn his 3rd stage victory of the season, but Tyler Reddick goes from 31st to 2nd, Jamie. He is moving on rails.
He has. Blaney's going to have his hands full because Reddick obviously now has the lead. You see the amount of positions he's gained. Bell's another car that's moved up. Bubba Wallace. And what I see right there, a lot of Toyotas. We talked about the speed they've had all year long. They didn't qualify well, but they have great handling cars, Jeff, and that is key tonight.
Handling is the key tonight. It reminds me of Daytona, the 90s and early 2000s. Cars that drive well, they can go to the front. Ross Chastain, he was so bad in the first stage, he actually got lapped. Ryan Preece got lapped. He just got back at the lead lap. But the guys that are struggling, it could be a long night.
Tyler Reddick wins the race off pit road. He seems to be in position, Adam. Dale, it is amazing how fast Tyler Reddick is right now.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive that team nailed the setup as well as they did. A lot of teams able to come down pit road. Everybody worked on their race cars. We might see some cars improve, some new players start to move toward the front of the field. I know a lot of guys were dying to get to pit road. We've seen a ton of cars not driving too good that first stage.
Yeah, so the adjustments are going to be huge. And when we looked at pit road, it didn't shock me that Blaney lost the lead. Look, you want to lead. He's led 64 laps, but he was out there wide open, burning gas. So that 12 car probably needed a little bit more gas on his pit stop. For that reason, he lost a couple spots, but no harm, no foul. Still 3rd. Now the question is, where do you pick?
Coming up to the choose, you'll see them go to the inside and the outside, picking their lines on how they want to do this. A lot of Chevrolets down there on the inside, first 3 rows. They've, the whole series has the Penske Fords busted up. Can they keep it that way for the remainder of this race? It'll be tough for them to get all back together.
Let's get a little Chase Briscoe radio here.
The rain comes, would it use it for tonight, or think we still race?
There's another huge snow behind the building. So.
All right, so just race like we're racing halfway?
Yeah, just race like we're coming to a race.
That means go.
Was that Australian for go? I was just making sure, James Small. I want to clear that up. I like that.
Yeah, Briscoe wants to know if we're racing for the win, halfway being the end of the race. So that, I think you'll see the entire field do that. This is possibly racing toward the halfway mark, and you want to be in the best position you can when the rains come.
93 to go in this stage. They cannot run that far in fuel, so there's going to be a whole mixed-up plan. But I'm with you. I think you gotta get going.
I want to go back and confirm what you said earlier, too. This is an official race at lap 130. So as we start talking about the weather, the role it will play, and how you manage this second stage, 130 is the number to watch in that regard. Outside lane, race leader and control car Tyler Reddick. To his inside, Kyle Larson. Stage 2 underway as we go through the EchoPark Automotive Restart Zone.
Good launch by the 45 of Reddick. Good push by Blaney back there on the outside. It's going to clear the 45. Here comes the inside line back, though. Down the back straightaway, everybody even, 2 by 2. Austin Dillon trying to give a good push to the 5-car Larson on the inside. Oh, Larson trying to squeeze up in front of the 12.
Oh, that was tight. I mean, one was going high, one was going low. 3 wide for the runner-up spot. Blaney high and Austin Dillon making a rally in the inside lane.
He took that risk and it put him in the middle, lost a couple of spots now. Bit of an aggressive move, but he had to try it.
Chase Briscoe, listen to his crew chief, 19 outside lane, making up some ground on the restart.
Side by side for the lead.
Larson trying to get the outside corner on that 77. 77 is just going to go to the inside. Hocevar down into second place. Battling with the 12. He's going to wrap the bottom. Not quite clear, Blaney. Blaney's going to come back on the outside.
Toyota, Ford, Chevy. Top 3 right now.
They get a huge run up on the leader. Hocevar just couldn't get to the quarter pound. He got drugged back by the car of Blaney. Logano 3 wide to the bottom.
That shuffles out Austin Dillon. Christopher Bell, who jumped quickly off the pit lane in the game.
Logano knew he had Cindric behind him, so that aggressive move, you see it, the top of your screen, that red 22 being pushed by that number 2, shoving it forward.
Bubba Wallace got it wound up in the outside lane. He's so good in the draft, was impressive here in the springtime.
Oh, there's 12 car. Look at this thing on fresh tires. Big run.
Just drive down and take the top spot.
Yeah.
Ryan Blaney dominates stage 1, leads again, and he brings Larson with him. Look at Bubba Wallace, little crossover move. Goes underneath Hocevar, gets Bell as well. Riding with Logano. He's not afraid on this restart.
Bottom of 3, middle's
Bottom of 3, you got the 77. Then Eric Jones on the top of them going by. You see the 43 car using the top of the racetrack, making some moves. They're still 3 wide off of turn 2. Almost 3 wide for the lead there. Larson around the top. He might get some help from Reddick here to be able to take the lead.
Marty talked before we went green about Kyle Larson. And even though things have not gone his way in the draft here at EchoPark Speedway, he's been a huge endorser of this place, said he likes this style. He's spent a lot of time at the front. And here's driver 5 going for the lead.
Toyotas have cycled towards the front, though. We now have a Toyota 3rd, 4th, 6th, 7th, 8th.
Xfinity on board, riding with Wallace. One of those Toyotas that's found his way into the mix.
Back to 2 even lanes here, still out there, 45.
That was Freddie Kraft on the roof for Bubba Wallace in that 23. They put a lot of work into their speedway racing and their communication.
Let's get an update on that 23 team. What's going on, Bubba Wallace, Danielle?
Yeah, interesting that Steve just mentioned that relationship between driver and spotter. I was talking to Charles DeNike, Bubba's crew chief, this morning. I said, what makes Bubba so good on drafting tracks? He said not only his instinct, but Freddie. They've been together 17 years. Pretty remarkable, all the way back to Bubba's trucking days. They know each other very well.
It's more than just information, Danielle, right? It's about anticipation. You're almost clearing what your driver wants to do, not just what he's doing. When it works well, it is so impressive. Larson clears up in front of Blaney. Little less separation now. You could say everybody's worked on their cars. Handling's gotten a little bit better. We're not seeing as much separation at the front.
Hocevar into the wall off of turn 4, Steve.
Light contact. We'll see if it does any more damage to that 77. I was mentioning, though, track also probably cooling, which is helping. Blaney says it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go back.
You want to lead? Okay, I'll take it back here. 12 strong tonight. Started on the pole.
Big run by Hocevar down the back straightaway now into 3rd position. The 77's gained several spots. He's to the inside of the 5 now for 2nd. That 77's working around the bottom of this racetrack.
One lap, you kiss the wall. Next lap, you're thinking about the runner-up spot. Here's the 77 dancing around Larson.
Not able to make the pass. Now he's in a bad spot. The 5, the 45 on the outside. Probably going to create momentum and go down the back straightaway. He's going to hang on the inside, though, of this 5 car.
Haven't said Chase Elliott's name a lot tonight. He's up there in the top 10. 2 wins this year, 2 wins in the draft at EchoPark Speedway.
Hocevar just needs some help. Somebody on that inside line to get up there and give him a little push.
A friend, you might say. You're saying he needs a friend?
Yeah, he needs a buddy. It's going to be tough to be able to clear this 5 car.
I love how drivers put their differences aside when they need a shove in the draft. We'll see who reaches out here.
To the inside. Almost clearing the 5. He can't quite do it.
How about that black car with the yellow hood, about 5 cars back on the outside. SVG in the 97 getting himself up in the mix.
Three wide around Bubba Wallace. Chase Elliott.
SVG had the spin here in the spring, came back to finish 6th. 2 wins this year, and all those points in the road course races, it put him above the chase cut line, 14th coming in tonight at plus 30. We'll get in a quick break. Blaney, Hocevar, Larson, Elliott, Reddick, the top 5. You're watching NASCAR on TNT. We're live in Atlanta. NASCAR Cup Series racing on a Sunday evening in Hampton, Georgia. Our coverage on TNT presented by Napa Auto Parts. New leader is Carson Hocevar. And just as I say that, here comes Tyler Reddick. Look at a 45 just dancing off the corner. All clear, maybe not.
He could have taken it. He was clear momentarily, but the 77 is going to get out there and go by. 3 wide, Bubba Wallace around his teammate. And Blaney into second place.
Slingshot 23 making moves. Popped him earlier. Eric Jones was the best qualifier when you talk about the Toyotas. He was quiet in stage 1 after rolling off 11th, but that green and white machine looking good now.
3 wide. 45 car here. Tyler Reddick got into the fence. We mentioned when the 77 hit the wall right behind him, Tyler also drives into the fence. Very light contact. Looking at the side of the car, doesn't look like there's any damage. Just a little scrape or 2. Shannon, what you got on the 45?
Yeah, Dale, such a flawless stage 1 for this 45 team, but you just saw he brushed the wall, immediately radioed this into his team.
Hit the wall in time. I misjudged it on 4. Joe, I smoked the wall. 10-4, we'll take a look at it. Yeah, we will look at pictures here. Still have them.
They are looking at some pictures, but as you can see, he is still very, very fast. Remember, guys, he won this race earlier this year without a right front fender, obviously. Doesn't want to have to do that again. So far fast, maybe just a little damage.
That's the best look right there on board with Kyle Larson. Just a little scratch. It looks good.
Side by side with another teammate there, the Toyota teammate of Christopher Bell. Had him in a little bit of a tough spot. He got real tight. Guys are getting up off the corner and getting real tight off of turn 4. More contact with the wall with the 5. That's all similar to what we're seeing with the 45, the 77, just losing the nose a little bit, misjudging maybe. That wall kind of wraps back in a little bit toward you on corner exit.
Going to be fascinating as this stage continues to run 92 laps complete.
Oh, somebody's in the wall back in the field. Looks like it's Ty Dillon, or Ty Gibbs, I believe, the 45. Or the might have been 35 car here.
Riley Herbst.
Riley Herbst, yeah, he had a very similar looking race car, but he got into the wall quite a bit harder. Middle of the corner, but continues on.
William Byron takes advantage. Daniel Suarez waiting there. That just outside the top 15 as we go back to the front. Hocevar, Blaney, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson. Here comes Christopher Bell. 4 runner-up finishes this year for driver 20. Got that banged up wrist. But boy, has he been playing strong in the summertime, despite the injury that he suffered at Michigan.
The balance starting to go away on these cars. You see them using up a lot of racetrack. The 22 Elegano having a lift right there. Down here in 3 and 4, they're starting to drive up the track into the door of each car on the outside line. Getting into the tire run here, losing some balance, losing some comfort. It's making me nervous.
This race just promotes anxiety as we pop the in-season challenge. Some great matchups. Briscoe and Elliott going head-to-head. The teammates Hamlin and Bell. Really good from Byron and Blaney. And the upset special, Bowman 24th, Todd Gilliland 34th right now. Trying to advance to the final 4. We'll give away $1 million in Indianapolis. Look at this.
Like Larson got to the fence again. Just feels like something's about to give here.
You want to win the race. You want to get stage points. For some, maybe you want to advance in the in-season challenge. All of that stress and anxiety, you add to that the weather. I mean, just so much to be thinking about tonight. Blaney is in control as Wallace and Hocevar continue to do battle for second. Let's go to a report on William Byron in the 24, Shannon.
Yeah, William Byron started 26. He told me it would take about 10 to 15 laps to figure out what kind of car he had. Guys, he's figured it out. He doesn't like it, and he is having a conversation with Rudy Fugle about it right now.
Allowing my off. This is terrible. I heard you, okay? I heard you. I got it. Your 5 number's loose. I put a round in the left rear. We're too tight right now. It's the sight offset. We can park it, or we can keep trying until I get to work on it again. Let's try the thing. You got it.
2-time Atlanta winner right there. That's William Byron. Steve Dale, I bet you guys never had conversations like that, right?
We didn't. No, Steve would not allow it. Yeah, me and Tony Jr. had a lot of conversations like that, but not Steve.
Well, I tell you, that's a guy that's 12th in the chase standings. Hasn't won a race this year. Like, we talk about that, but Dale, you and I know that pressure in that garage is real. The summer is here. The chase is around the corner. You drive for one of the premier teams. You haven't gone to victory lane like that. That's real internal pressure.
And you're coming off a week when you felt like you took a major step, led more than 90 laps, swept the stages, and finished top 5 at Chicagoland. We've hit 40 laps gone by in our second stage. Blaney, Wallace, Bell, Hocevar, Reddick, the top 5. It's NASCAR on TNT. The fight returns on August 1st as Lamont Roach Jr. battles William Zepeda for the vacant WBC Lightweight World title, live on TNT, True TV, and streaming on DAZN. 55 laps to go, stage 2, and there is so much going on track and in the sky. Riding with Denny Hamlin here. Toyota Racing onboard camera, you saw it. He's up to 15th in the running order.
Yeah, Sel just off the back straightaway. Everybody's seen it coming. 24 laps to an official race. Layer on top of that about 20 to 25 laps from when everybody's going to need fuel. Christopher Bell will be the first to come to pit road. He had the shortest pit stop at the end of stage 1. That's how he jumped those spots. So he'll probably be on pit road maybe 5 or 6 laps earlier, but there's going to be a lot that goes into these next 23 laps. The first is, do we stay dry? And if we stay dry, how do you manage it? We have not seen many green flag pit stops here. It's interesting. It's a long pit road. It can be messy. Oh, the yellow's out.
This is lightning. Caution is out, lightning.
Cancel all that conversation about fuel and green flag pit stops.
Tab Boyd 20 radio, spotter for Christopher Bell.
Yeah, this is what the radar looks like. And it had been kind of breaking up inside of that circle, that inner circle, but finally broke through. Just getting a little bit too close. And
you know, we learned during the Coke 600, you get lightning within 8 miles of the racetrack, you shut things down. But we also learned during the Coke 600 that if the meteorologists say, hey, that lightning is moving away, there used to always be a 30-minute hold. Now that's not necessarily how NASCAR evaluates this, depending on which direction the weather system is moving.
That's correct. It's I kind of prefer this, honestly, as opposed to what the chaos you were describing, Steve, with the race getting toward the halfway point, potentially becoming official, but also having a pit cycle right on top of that. And if we would have got rain in the middle of all of that mess, could have had some sort of a fluke end result of the game, right, or the race. And I think we want the opportunity to, really truly run this out.
Caution number 1 comes at the end of the opening stage. Caution number 2 for weather here in the middle portion of stage 2. Free pass goes to Ross Chastain. Crazy Chastain had fallen a lap down after qualifying inside the top 10, and this has been a track that's been remarkable for him, as now all the cars come down the pit lane.
The only Ford that was able to really stay in that top 5 was the 12 of Blaney. And you see his teammates slowly starting to slip out of the top 10. 22 Logano in 9th, Cindric in the 2. They were not able to really get back up there and join his teammate up at the front of the field.
NASCAR says they will park them, cover them, drivers will get out of their cars. Second caution of the night leads to a red because of weather in Atlanta. Had a red flag of 3 hours and 9 minutes. Ran a handful of laps under caution to get the pit lane dry. We've cycled the stops, and there will be 37 laps to go in stage 2 when we return to the green flag. Blaney and Bubba on the front row. Number 12 in charge as the leaders come to the EchoPark Automotive Restart Zone.
That inside line did a really, really good job launching right around the same time. Basically, teammates pushing teammates here down the back straightaway. Who can stay locked together? Looks like the Toyotas weren't able to do that. The Ford's on the outside clear.
Hocevar getting with it. Our data originally indicated he got 4 tires. He actually only got 2 on that cycle of stops, but it hasn't hurt his confidence. He's up to 3rd.
Now he's going to the inside, trying to get to the quarter panel of the 22 car. Hurt his momentum a little bit. He's going to get some help from Reddick.
I think back to the start of the race, the start of stage 2. As soon as the green goes in the air, number 77 hits the button, very aggressive.
Logano now to the inside of the 12. Kind of wants to get back up in there behind his teammate right there. He fits right in front of Bubba Wallace. Now Bubba to the inside. I love it. These guys are taking all the runs.
Look at this 3-wide battle back here. Cindric, Reddick's back there.
New
Mixing
player.
it up. Denny Hamlin.
That's the new player I was looking at. Kind of that old school mentality. Looked to be pretty patient, didn't love his car early. Between adjustments and a changing track, here he is inside the top 10.
He took 2 tires on that last cycle of stops, right behind Michael McDowell, driver 71, underrated in the draft. And Team Spire showing a lot of speed here tonight.
Blaney got a really big lead right here. He's got to be careful. Bubba Wallace up there in second trying to block the lanes.
One back here, help, room to push.
Out of line for position, this for the lead. There goes Bubba Wallace in the 23.
Take it away. Take it away.
Oh, he's going to take it away for sure.
All clear.
He's getting that information from Freddie, his spotter, to take it away and squeeze Blaney a little bit right there. Now they're 3 wide for second.
Hocevar from the high lane to the low lane, and he picks off a couple. He's now second behind Bubba Wallace.
He's going to get a big push down the front straightaway, probably to the inside, but Blaney's going to get to the inside first. Blaney with the run. A little help from his teammate here for Blaney, going to clear him down into 3.
Man, what a dance.
You just don't know where the runs are coming from.
Well, and the runs are bigger, which tells me the cars are handling better. There's less in and out of the gas. You're able to back up to the guy behind you, use the momentum, turn left, shorten the corner, as you see the monster car do there in the distance. The 54 of Ty Gibbs, about the 5th car back on the inside.
Draft has not been great to him in his Cup career, and he's been quiet here tonight. But with just over 30 to go, stage 2, he has entered the chat and inside the top 10 are knocking on the door. 9th right now.
Bubba finally clear back there in 3rd. Should run down these Fords pretty quick. Still side by side as you see for 4th place. Big run for Cindric. Down the front straightaway, he gets behind the 77 of Hocevar.
It's been impressive to me how these Penske Fords have been able to find each other tonight.
Bubba tried to get back down there and block the 77, couldn't get there quick enough. Hocevar to the inside. Oh, Bubba's right there. Hocevar thought he had him cleared. Reddick's gonna try to, oh, Reddick got really tight. Oh,
look at
almost
that.
spun out. So Reddick lost the nose of the car up off of 4. Way out of the gas. Everybody almost run over him down the front straightaway. Cindric had to lose a lot of spots there, keep him wrecking Reddick and himself.
Look at Denny Hamlin right down the boulevard. Got Shane Van Gisbergen behind him.
Three wide now with McDowell on the inside. Denny down there trying to push the 71 through.
All 3 Chevys from Team Spire inside the top 10.
This view just gives you how much left to right movement there is. These cars don't maintain the lane very well. They use a lane and a half every time they go in the corner.
All this going on is allowing those Fords to sit up there uncontested. They're not getting away though. As soon as we get single file for 3rd, they should run them right back down.
Yeah, remember how Team Penske controlled that first stage, and in the closing laps, Reddick, Larson kind of split that trio up. I know Blaney did end up winning that first stage, but it was not as easy as it once looked with maybe 15 or 20 going that stage for Team Penske.
Watch that blue number 7 of Suarez. Restarted 20th. Got 4 tires after the red flag when they made their pit stop. And He's knocking on the door of the top 5 here.
Reddick to the inside of Cindric. Cindric's trying his hardest to get back up here with his teammate. Finally, there's the 77's clear. So he's going to try to help his teammate, Daniel Suarez, if he can. But he's got to run a line as well to be able to try to create some speed momentum to run down the 2 Fords out front. He's trying to help Daniel down the front straightaway. Daniel's got 2 cars drafting on the outside of him.
What about Suarez, Shannon?
Yeah, that car is fast right now, and it was not in that first run. I checked in with the team during the rain delay, and I asked them what was going on. They just said it wasn't connected, no grip. Sorry, they took a big swing at that car on the first stop, and you guys can see it has certainly come alive.
Hocevar and Bubba Wallace are running down the Fords up front.
Still in there.
Let's ride with Joey Logano. Listen to this team.
I said I'm okay in 1 and 2. Need a little more air in 3 and 4. Just a little.
Trying to talk to his spotter to tell Blaney to give him a little more air in 3 and 4. He needs a little more downforce, a little more air getting under that car, so if Blaney could open up the corner a little bit to allow Joey to have the bottom, a little more comfort. But now they have to abandon that a little bit. They have to start being more defensive with these cars closing in on them. Now they have to run wherever they can to take the line away from Hocevar, take the line away from Bubba Wallace.
20 laps to go, stage 2.
Hocevar's trying to time a run to be able to get to the right side or the inside of the 22 car. He's trying to figure out how to time a run to do it. Not getting a ton of help right now from Bubba Wallace.
Run lower down the backstretch. I need to protect my bottom from him. Yeah, I don't trust that car behind me there, so we got to cover.
More instruction from Logano to Blaney. Well, the 13 Penske car, Cindric, trash on the lower grill of the 2 car. A big white bag. It shouldn't affect the overheating, but remember, the air going to the engine also enters through that lower grill. So it could be starving that 2 car of horsepower, hurting Cindric. We'll have to just see. That's a big piece of debris covering that area. We'll have to just keep in mind to see if maybe he can work it off in traffic.
Bubba got to the outside of Hocevar, but now Daniel Suarez to the inside of the 23.
There it goes. Debris flies off for Cindric when he gets in the traffic.
He gets the information that's clear, so he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Get back to work. He knew he needed to get to the back bumper of somebody quickly to get that off. Suarez with a big run to the back bumper of the 77 of Hocevar. Kind of had to lift and offset in the corner. Oh, the 2 slides up the track across the nose of the 23.
Big wiggle out of the back end.
Oh,
look at this. Couple of Toyotas attacking on the inside. Bell and Bubba.
Man, when somebody gets tight off of 4, it creates so much chaos down the front straightaway.
Look at SVG. I mean, you win a couple of races on the road courses. You collect all these points. You get yourself above the chase cut line. And now you come to a place where you feel like you can let it all hang out, be aggressive. 6th earlier this year and getting it done tonight, Danielle.
Interesting, Adam, you used the word aggression. That's exactly what his crew chief, Stephen Doran, told me. He said SVG is aggressive on drafting tracks, but he's learning how to take runs and then hold that track position. We are seeing that now from SVG as he goes 3 wide inside the top 10. He said the key is getting comfortable with his spotter. He never had one in V8 Supercars. He had to get comfortable with a spotter when he came to NASCAR, and now he loves it, craves information. Look at him having a great run here tonight.
He's got a good one on the spotter stand. Josh Williams calling the shots. came in at plus 30, showing plus 24 right now as we put the chase standings in our pylon. They get plus 28. And that'll bounce around a lot as we head toward the end of the stage.
Battle's starting to tighten up front here. Teammates side by side, the Spire Chevrolets. Oh, look at Bubba Wallace finally to the outside quarter panel of the 22. What great work to be able to put that together.
It's going to be hard for Logano to hold this position.
Yep, he's in trouble.
Outside, Austin's behind the 7, 2 back. Still there, still there.
Now Blaney has to block.
Still
Blaney
there.
at the top of the racetrack. Hocevar to the bottom. Hocevar into second place.
It's a couple of times here in this portion of the event where we've seen Hocevar get a 2-for-1, and right on cue, Mr. Aggression. Here comes Shane Van Gisbergen to the 97.
That shape of the tri-oval into turn 1 here just begs for a driver to turn
right
left.
There. SVG got big trouble right there.
Sometimes you get, sometimes you give. 12 to go, stage 2. Blaney's led 123 laps tonight.
There it is. He just loses. You can see the exhaust pipes. He's way out of gas. Car just come out of the racetrack. Down into the corners. SVG is going to have a big moment right here. Ooh. Jumps out of the gas. Everybody goes by. It's like the temperature's down. It gives them this false sense of grip and comfort and confidence, and then they realize that this old surface is aging.
Yeah.
And when they get in a bad spot aero-wise, the car just loses tons of grip.
Logano was second, back to fourth. They lose that. Suarez racing him. Hocevar peeking inside for the race lead.
Bubba Wallace, what does he decide to do here? Oh, he's got to get to the right quarter panel of the 77, help Blaney maintain the lead.
All three manufacturers represented there, so really no sense of urgency to help one over the other. But Blaney and Bubba are buddies, so maybe that impacted his decision. Logano trying to come back, and here comes Blaney now. Going after his good friend, looking inside of Blaney. Bubba trying to get the point.
Not quite able to clear. Going to be able to slow him down a little bit, but here comes his teammate, Joe Logano, to the back bumper, the 12 of Blaney, off into turn 1.
9 to go in the stage, and look at this group of cars at the front. This reminds me a lot of what we saw at the end of the race last year. Logano 3 wide for second. Eight to go, stage 2.
I just feel like any minute somebody's going to make a mistake. There's so many moves. Guys are changing entire lanes, going from the top to the bottom of the racetrack in this pack. It's insane how good they are at knowing where everybody's at. The runs are intense. They're fast. They come out of nowhere. Daniel Suarez now up to third.
Oh, a big move by the 5 on the right side of the screen. Had to get out of the gas. He's under attack from the 11 of Hamlin, 54 as well.
Hocevar to the inside of his teammate. That doesn't work. Oh, and he has to jump out of the gas. Now he's losing lots of spots down the front straightaway. He's put himself in a bad spot right there into turn 3 to the inside of Daniel, but now he's trying to recover.
6 to go in the stage.
Those issues are going to continue, and the patience and the blocking will get bigger and bigger. There's a block that could have happened that didn't. You hear the 11 get out of the gas, kind of chasing the 97 into the top.
He's in bad air behind the 97, so he can't really drive in there any closer. He's going to lose the whole race car. He's going to slide across the racetrack, so he has to kind of keep a distance between him and the car in front, time his runs.
That whole accordioning, and now it's back to Blaney and Logano. 1-2, back at the front.
7 of Suarez is to the outside of Logano for second place.
Going to be 4 to go in the stage this time by.
Big run for the 7. Logano trying to slow him down.
He lined up at the bottom now.
Oh, the 20 got real tight right there behind the 7. He's going to lose a spot to Bubba Wallace.
You know, you think about stage points, how important they are, and all of these drivers at the front have something they're chasing. Maybe it's the cut line, maybe it's trying to get up in the top 5, top 6, maybe you want to be the regular season champion. Everyone has a different agenda, but the one commonality, go get stage points. They're on the line in 3 laps, and problems for Hocevar well off the pace.
Yeah, I don't know if he got into the fence or whatever, but he is off the throttle.
Reporting an issue. We'll have to get him to pit road and see what's wrong with the 77, Danielle.
Steve, they're saying on the radio 77 has a flat tire.
Oh, man, so he definitely has a tire issue here with 3 to go. Will he try to get it around to the finish on the right side? The race for the stage continues. Blaney and Logano have come to 2 to go now.
Referenced earlier, Hocevar had the tire problem here in the spring, made an unscheduled pit stop, came from 2 laps down to record a great finish. But right now our focus, not the 77, it's what's happening out front. Ryan Blaney trying to get a stage sweep. He's led 133 from the pole tonight, and he leads with 1 lap remaining, stage 2. Got his teammate right behind him. Reddick is there, Bubba is there, Austin Cindric in the top 5.
Reddick back to the outside of Logano. Logano up the racetrack trying to side draft Reddick. Bubba Wallace 3 wide to the inside, has to think about it because of the block. Logano defends that well. Bubba in a bad spot.
Ty Gibbs getting with it, final lap of the stage.
Bubba spun out off the nose of the 54 of Ty Gibbs.
Wallace goes for a ride, was running inside the top 5.
All right, we're good.
As Ryan Blaney takes the green and white checkered flag, recording the sweep. 4th time Blaney has swept the first 2 stages.
Bubba got tight. Had to get out of the gas in the middle of 3 and 4, and then try to drive back down across the racetrack in front of Ty Gibbs to try to find some help or something to sort of regenerate speed and energy in the car. And I believe he got turned around.
Blaney's been great at getting stage points this year. When you look at the stage point numbers, he's been top 5 in that category as we go back and watch what happened with Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba had to lift right there, and he comes back down the track right in front of Ty Gibbs, and Ty's lifting out of the gas, and he's like, man, I can't stop. So
yeah, I'm doing all I can.
Yeah. Bubba's just desperately trying to get down the track and save him a few spots to be able to cross his finish line, get some stage points. Right there, he's out of the gas and struggling with the handle of his race car. So,
and right here, you're going to see the pipes of the 54, the blue smoke, the fire out the pipes. He's out of the gas as well. Could have been much worse. Listen. Didn't hit anything. You just wonder what the slide across the grass did for some of the underbody. This would be a great view.
Yeah, you got momentum and you're coming to the end of a stage win, and there's a lot of points on the line, and that shows you what the drivers are, how valuable that is. If the 54 lifts there and tries to cut Bubba a bigger break, they both likely lose a couple spots coming to the line.
Tough ending to the stage for Bubba Wallace. Great effort for his teammate Tyler Reddick, who's had a rough month or so with all the issues. But tonight he's able to collect 18 stage points as he tries to retrack Denny Hamlin for that regular season crown. What's the latest Team 23, Danielle?
Adam, Bubba is asked by his team about the tires. All 4 tires are good. He said, my balance is good. They said, what do you need? He said, when I'm in the throttle, I just feel stuck. They said, bring it in, we'll pit as normal on cycle here. Stevie, what does he mean when he says he just feels stuck?
Well, it sounds to me like he just can't make any sort of offensive move. It sounds like the handling's not an issue. He can get in the throttle as much as he would like to. He just can't be on the offense. So maybe the car, while handling good, maybe it's just a little too tight. You know, these crew chiefs can still look at the data as well. As you see Bubba Wallace cranking that brake bias, getting ready to come to pit road. That's that red knob on the dash right there. You know, just because it feels good, Dale, maybe he has too much steering wheel in it, and it's just kind of grinding through the front tires. Maybe there's a way they can just increase the rolling speed of that 23 car.
Let's listen to the radio on the 54 of Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, that's a little late there on the 23. Can't really do anything. Yeah, so far. Yeah, you could tell them sorry, but you can't do that. That's too late. That's on them.
I think it's good analysis, Ty, and I think we all agree up here, right? He wants to make sure Bubba knows he didn't mean to spin him, but man, it was too late. I didn't have any other options, Dale. I think that's exactly what it looked like.
Stage 2 complete, and we get pit stops. Blaney leading Reddick, Logano, Cindric, and Suarez. Let's go to Shannon Spake.
Adam, the first thing Tyler Reddick said when that caution came out was what happened to Bubba, checking on his teammate. The car for the 45 just a little tight. They did tell him to pit a little short in his pit box so that 21 could get around him. They are going to take 4 tires and wait on fuel. Marty.
Shannon, it's just crazy how well these Team Penske cars work together. All 3 in the top 4 at the end of stage 2. Joey Logano said, I'm really limited to 1 lane. I'm too free up top, but in more overall long run grip. Austin Cindric, 13 stage points in the bank for the 2 bunch. He said, I'm just a little bit too snug. And they stage sweep for Ryan Blaney. He said, I'm good, but when I go across seams, I'm a little bit too free. Blaney having to wait on fuel. There you see the penalty for taking fuel only before. Loses a number of spots here on pit road in 4 tires.
And we watch the execution coming off the pit lane. It was tight. We'll get the reset when we return. Going to be a great final stage. Stage 2 was outstanding here at EchoPark Speedway. NASCAR Cup Series Racing on TNT is brought to you by Credit One Bank for what's ahead, and by Straight Talk Wireless, an official partner of NASCAR. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com.
Welcome back to the Quaker State 400. Ryan Blaney dominating sweep stages 1 and 2. The 5-time winner in drafting races has led 137 laps tonight. That's the most ever for Ryan Blaney in a drafting race. Maybe the best car he's ever had in this type of racing. Guys, I don't see, with how strong Logano is, how well he and Blaney are working together, how does anybody beat Penske tonight, Jamie?
Well, that's going to be a huge challenge for them. The thing that's been so impressive, and we referenced this right after the rain delay, is just every time they shuffle Blaney back, it takes about 2 straightaways, and he gets right back to the front. Both he and Logano are doing a great job, but there are a few guys. Reddick is one of those guys that I think can challenge for this win.
Yeah, I believe Blaney and Logano both stayed on pit road filling with fuel, so they're going to start 13th and 16th. Now let's see how they drive mid-pack. The car does not drive as well mid-pack versus what it does at the front.
And Marty, the fear is you go back to 16th, it's going to get chaotic now. It's getting closer to the end. People will be more aggressive. You get caught up in a wreck.
That young man you were just seeing there, Tyler Reddick on the screen. 18 stage points tonight to Denny Hamlin's 2, Jamie. The points race is getting much closer.
He's cut it in half. It's down to 20 points for that championship. And Denny's going to know that. He's watching this. He sees Reddick up there.
Yeah, Logano and Cindric both having good nights. They're right on the edge of making the chase, having a good night.
This one certainly seems like it's going to be an absolute heater, Adam. Cannot wait to see how this thing finishes up.
When it's edge of your seat every lap and there's over 90 to go, oh man, still a lot to develop in this race. Let's do a little Where's Mamba before we go green in the final stage.
Yeah, Adam, I'm over in turn 2 hanging out with the Legacy Motor Club group and Club 7. Jimmy Jam has the best spot in the house. Turn 2 has been so amazing. Check out this video that we've been capturing while I've been standing over in turn 2. The cars are ripping through turns 1 and 2. This is reinvigorating. If you want to come to a race, and that's Luna checking it out. If there's a track that you want to come to, ladies and gentlemen, come to EchoPark Speedway.
It's been a long day here with the rain and the lightning and all the weather we faced. But this finish, make it all worth it. Going to be a lot of fun here and a big reset when we talk about the exchange on strategy and the Blaney car having to wait on fuel. So now it's go time for everybody.
I think pretty much the field is squared up with 3 exceptions. Cindric, Buescher, Zilich. They have gained track position because they need more fuel than most. We'll see how it plays out and when these final pit stops have to happen.
Gibbs, Cindric, front row. Coming through the EchoPark restart zone. Final stage underway at Atlanta.
Not really connected on the inside line just yet. Good push. 3 cars tied together on the outside. Oh, man. Gibbs trying to slow that 2 down. Some new players up here. A lot of these guys don't really know what it's like to be up front. What moves to make.
And much like Jeff and Jamie talked about, can the 45 and the 12 find their way back to the front? Can they fight their way and get that track position?
Cindric hasn't won in over 40 races. Buescher hasn't won in more than 60 events. Connor Zilich has never won, and they're all right there in the mix. Throw Eric Jones into the conversation. He's been strong tonight into 43. He's a great drafter.
Big move from SVG there. He backs out. 3 wide. Denny Hamlin on top there. Oh, Kyle Larson loses his car a little bit. He has to lift.
Suarez there to take advantage. Look at Reddick. Talk about where's he going to fit in. Starting to push and shove his way to the front.
Denny with the run around the top. Gets blocked by the 17 of Buescher. Here comes Eric Jones to the inside.
3 wide for third.
Trackhouse teammates in the middle. 2 rows deep there.
Cindric and Gibbs out front. Look at Buescher and red and white Ford outside lane number 17.
Oh, the 88's in a bad spot. His teammates making him tight. He can't get in the gas. SVG was on his left rear quarter panel, the 88 car, and that was really making it difficult for him to get the wheel turned and get the car around the corner. They kind of regroup here.
What about Bell, the broken wrist? Such a great run at Sonoma. Tremendous last week at Chicagoland.
Denny wanted to help that 20. Lifted a little bit there. Let's see if he goes to the middle here. I'm not quite sure. They get back 2 by 2. Now Bell to the inside, 3 wide.
I got to be careful there. That painted line down there is out of bounds. Him making the move to the inside is Cindric. Gibbs jumps to the race lead.
Reddick had a moment back there off the corner. $17 around the top. He almost gets to the right rear quarter panel. This is wild racing. My gosh. Oh, Denny, contact right there with a 5 of Larson.
A little bit of ding on the right front for the 22.
There's the contact right there. Pretty hard.
They didn't qualify great. But Joe Gibbs racing 1-2-3 last week at Chicagoland. 1-2-3 right now. Gibbs, Bell, and Hamlin at the front. Busher trying to break it up. What's going on, Christopher Bell, Shannon?
Yeah, remember when he got his win here at Atlanta, he got out of the car and he said, I love super speedways. Of course, he was joking because he's really struggled on this type of track. But the good news for Christopher Bell fans, he told his guys the car is very, very close. He is liking that 20 right now.
Then he's trying to clear in front of Busher for third, can't do it. Love to get in line there with his teammates.
What I love about the 20 is this right here. He's able to enter the middle or the top, tug on that wheel, Dale, and drive across the bottom on exit. I think that really allows him a good aggressive exit play. And watch him again. He'll enter to the outside of the 54, middle lane. He'll turn left and cross the wake of the 54, getting the draft while not losing the nose. Impressive move by the 20.
Ty Gibbs been quiet tonight, but showing what he's got now, Danielle. 54 out in front of his teammate.
He's in the lead. Ty says he's tight, but his car is good. He's hoping to keep clean air. His spotter, Tony Hirschman, is saying, cover Bell, we like you up top. That's where the momentum is. Dale, do you like to see a teammate in your mirror? What's it like when you're running 1-2 as he and Christopher Bell are right now?
Yeah, you're going to get a little bit more help from your teammate, but if he gets a big run, he's taking it. That's the way I look at it, because if I get a big run, I'm taking it. So I'm not going to get too upset if you get a run that you feel like something you really need to use. So I want to be there for my teammates, but I don't want to shackle them either. I don't want them to feel like that, they got to be tied to me, because I'm not going to stay always committed to them. I'm going to be very selfish at times. Denny finally clears the 17, but now the 2 of Cindric has joined the battle. Interesting to see Denny now is up in the top 5. We haven't seen him run all that well at the new Atlanta. Admittedly, hasn't really kind of figured out how he needs to run these races. If he can just finish them, he thinks he can actually do well, but let's see if he gets these big runs, if he does anything with it. I don't think he's going to enjoy being the third car in line, right? Being the third teammate, trying to help them stay in line.
He's fought his way to the inside now with a 20. Cindric behind. Denny takes a shortcut, really shortens up that front straightaway.
Start talking about the in-season challenge, the game within the game. Teammates going at it on track, and for an opportunity to advance to the Final Four, Denny, Hamlin, Christopher Bell. And they're behind their young teammate. And how impressive has Ty Gibbs been this season? Far better this year than what he experienced a season ago. Won the in-season challenge, but had so many hurdles to climb last year. Got his first career victory at Bristol, been the model of consistency, and here he is leading tonight.
He just controlling the lead there, getting in front of the lines that he needs to kind of contain. Oh, the 2. Wow. Big moment for Cindric right there. He about busted his tail. 3 wide, more contact with the 97.
See those Penske cars there together, and it reminds me that Blaney's not made up a ton of ground since the restart, but there you see him starting to make it work. Right into the picture behind William Byron in the 24. And those two going at it in the in-season challenge. Winner advances to the Final Four, be one race away from having a shot at $1 million. What's up, Marty?
Well, you see Joey Logano, and right behind him, Ryan Blaney trying to fight for track position. And you're exactly right. Actually, Blaney a little bit in front of Logano there. You're exactly right, Adam. Blaney has not made a lot of progress, but I'm listening to Tim Fedewa, his spotter on the radio. There's nowhere for Blaney to go. That's what surprised me, Junior. It strung out pretty early in runs earlier in the day, but now it's been 2 and 3 wide since we've gone back green.
I think Blaney knows he can't go this early. I think he knows there's nowhere to go 2 by 2. Just be patient. Now that there's some space, he's actually being able to move forward. Fighting it early is just going to push yourself into a mistake.
You and I talked about that earlier tonight, Dale, the balance of patience and aggression.
Well, the balance is swinging to aggression as he's 3 wide bottom.
I also feel like that the Fords just notoriously have a little less drag, but also maybe a little less downforce. So a little more difficult. He has the car to get to the front, but maybe a little more difficult than what we saw maybe from Reddick earlier in the race.
Larson back up there in 4th, looking for his first win in a draft. And we pop his teammate, Chase Elliott, won this race last summer. His won here a couple of times. He's back in 14th right now. There you see Chase. Right behind Blaney. What about number 9, Danielle?
Chase Elliott says, I went from having a ton of grip to now I can't trust it. Alan, need some help here. What does he mean by that, Steve?
Well, it's basically that he just doesn't know exactly how much grip he has. Dale was talking about it. As the track is gripped up, it has helped your overall pace, but there's still some landmines out there. We've seen this with a lot of cars. You lean on it, and then instantly it's gone. So to be aggressive and tug on the wheel like he needs, he's asking for a little overall grip from the 9. Talking to his crew chief, Alan Gustafson, we all expect every team to make one more pit stop. 73 laps to go in the race. If the yellow was to come out now, everybody can make it from here to the finish.
Chase, another one of those drivers involved in the in-season challenge. He's got the upper hand right now on Chase Briscoe, who's back in 24th.
Reddick to the inside. Passes the 17. He's clear to be able to get up behind the 20. I think he does that. Suarez down low, has to give up all the spots, get back in line. 5 of Larson around the top.
Look at this.
Way up around the top. What a move.
Larson top 5 in 5 of the last 7 races. Really started to put some points on the board in the summer months.
He's back to the top of the racetrack again, running that really, really high line that was working for him earlier in the race. Reddick says, I'll go to the inside here.
Reddick's passed a lot of cars tonight. Qualified outside the top 30. Referenced the fact 2nd in both stages.
Oh,
little
big run for the 20.
compromised track position here, and now he's sliding a bit.
20 didn't take it. He had to run to be able to go and try to pass his teammate for lead. Didn't take it. 5 struggles around the bottom of the racetrack right there. That's how the leader, that's how the 2 teammates are controlling the front of this field. You can get by maybe 1, but you can't get them both.
Now Cindric hanging on to it.
We've seen him have some moments the last couple of laps, honestly. There's not many people that have saved cars that have gotten that loose, that sideways.
He's back in 12th, this place that he would call one of his favorite racetracks.
I think they're all having a good time out there right now.
I would say that's fair.
Dale's doing a good job running a line around the corner to protect himself, but also allow his teammate, who's running a shorter distance on the bottom of the racetrack, to keep the lead.
What about this mix of teams we've got at the front? I mean, you got Joe Gibbs Racing 1-2, but then it's Hendrick, SVG for Trackhouse, Legacy, and Eric Jones. Busher got that RFK Ford up there. Team Spire represented by the man that won here a couple of years ago, Daniel Suarez.
As long as the 54 runs the bottom, the 20 splits up top. We just got a lot of churn from 3rd to 10th. Just churn, cars just rotating positions. They've got to figure out a way. Here's the 5 to the inside of the 20. Oh, contact, he runs him up the racetrack. That's kind of the things they're gonna have to start doing to try to break these guys up, to be able to have a shot at going up there, take the lead away from the 54.
Slide job turned into a shove.
Oh, the 16 spinning down the front straightaway, A.J. Allmendinger.
AJ
Yeah, so you got some flats here. So you get it
has
refired.
not had the handle that he wanted tonight. Was 28th when it got away from him. 4th caution of the night.
I can go right front's down.
With 67 to go in the race, everyone sees this as the golden opportunity. Put enough fuel in to make it to the finish. Everybody should be able to make it from here.
It's the first caution we've had tonight for an incident on track. Had the 2 stage ends. The caution for weather, middle portion of stage 2, and now this, A.J. Allmendinger.
And he just up the racetrack, gets in the side of the 71 car, kind of turns himself around. It's been a tough day, and it's he's sitting right there below the cut line with an opportunity, if he could come out of here with a great result, to chip away at that. Not going to be able to do it, at least thus far. You never know how these races go toward the end, though. We saw an odd, wild O'Reilly race last night.
Indeed.
That eliminated tons of race cars when it was all said and done, and it's never over till it's over. Let's listen to some radio from the 16.
I'm done, Trent. I don't need to be out of here, man.
Yeah, that's just ejection, and he's embarrassed. He's spun the car out, but I don't think that's really true what AJ believes. Just trying to get a little, get a little support from the team, and they'll get that tire on the car and get him sorted out.
Well, we see how crazy the racing is at the front. I can't imagine if you have a car not doing what you need it to do, right? Because it's, we've showed you the front of this field because it's a battle for the lead lap after lap after lap. Battles exist for 18th, 20th, 22nd. Those cars back there are not driving very well.
Yeah, I think these are the moments where AJ, has to kind of be reminded how limited this team is on resources and sim and all the things, the data, the information. Trying to come here without any practice and hit the ground and have a fast car, it's going to be more difficult for them than any other team in the series.
Getting ready to embark on an epic adventure. The Librarians, the next chapter, season premiere, August 2nd on TNT.
It's going to be very interesting. Everybody's holding their poker hand close to their vest on just exactly how much fuel they need. And now it's time to lay your cards on the table, because when you leave pit road this time, you want to have enough to make it all the way to the finish. So for that reason, I don't expect everyone's pit stop to look or feel the same. There's a few standouts. I mentioned at the start of this run, Chris Buescher definitely needed a little bit more fuel. He's the easy one to kind of just circle because of his pit stop history. Everyone else has done a pretty good job of masking what they've done on pit road. We'll see who can control the race off pit road.
Been a tough night for Zane Smith, scored 32nd, but he's the first car 1 lap down with this caution coming out, and he'll get the free pass and return to the lead lap. Time to find out what kind of strategy games are going to be played here. What's everybody thinking? We head towards 60 laps to go. And we get a cycle of stops. Ty Gibbs leading them down. We start our coverage with Shannon.
I'll tell you what Eric Jones is thinking, Adam. He's thinking about that chase. He's one of those guys riding the bubble. 18 to the good right now. Right side's only for the 43. Likes what he's feeling. He said he can be aggressive. As far as the 20, they wanted him to stop a little short in his pit stop because of the 88 to get around. But he said the car's been getting free as he's gotten closer to the front. Danielle.
It's a 4-tire stop for Ty Gibbs. He's holding the lead, said nothing on the radio that run because he's happy with the car. His crew chief said clean air is helping with the handling. And there's the battle off pit road, Marty.
Boy, a quick 2-tire stop for Kyle Larson, who said the car was much better. He said, I just can't figure out how to break up those front two, and a lot of varying strategy here on pit road, including Blaney gaining 8 spots, Adam.
Yeah, +8 for Blaney, who comes off 4th. And watch this, you go 2 tires, you jump out, and this is what we talked about, how tight this pit road is, everybody on a different strategy, you merging together, it's just a lot to manage for everybody.
That was a really nice job by the 43 to kind of not lose more time than he could have.
We'll get the restart when we return to Atlanta on TNT. Just over 60 laps to go at Atlanta, ready for the stretch run. NASCAR on TNT, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Let's get our ones to watch, presented by Credit One Bank. Where are you going, Dale?
Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on our Stage 1 and Stage 2 winner, Ryan Blaney. I think when he gets that track position, he get the lead back, it'll be tough to wrestle that away from him. He's led more laps tonight in this race than he's led at any drafted track in his career. So looks like that's the car to beat if he can get control of the race.
The 9 of Chase Elliott, the 30-year-old, has gone to victory lane 23 times in his career, twice here at Atlanta. He's also won 2 races already this year. It's been a quiet night, not a bad night just not a great night. Kind of, been around that top 10 all night long. Is he saving his best for last? Can he show some more aggression to try to get this 9 car in victory lane for a 3rd time here at Atlanta?
9 is a good call, but I'm going with his teammate, Kyle Larson. Our reigning champ hasn't won this year. He's on a 43 race winless streak. He's never won in the draft, 0 for 56. But he's shown a lot of speed here tonight and in a really good position when you talk about restarting, heading down the stretch. He'll take the inside lane. Bell goes outside. Let's do a little Ryan Blaney radio, talking shoes.
What do you think, 3rd or 6th?
You feel like you can stay connected to the 5?
I feel like I can stay connected through to 3, and if you're up there around Tyler, if he could just give me some love at 3, I can push.
As he's trying to tell him that, give him some love in 3. That means give him a little bit of air, give him some downforce, open up the opportunity for some air to get underneath this 12 car. So if the 5 could shade high or offset a little bit, he'll push him down the next straightaway. He'll continue to try to help him as long as he possibly can.
Yeah, and the Tyler he's talking about, I believe, is Tyler Maughan, the spotter for the 5. So yeah. Blaney's not even just talking driver crew chief. He's calling spotters out here. He's like, hey,
student of the game.
Man, get over there and tell Tyler this is what I'm looking for.
You think he's got a roster, all the teams on the dash there? All right, going to be 60 laps to go when we return to the green flag. We referenced Tyler Maughan. Let's listen into Kyle Larson radio. Bell the control car as we go back green here in Atlanta.
5 with him. All pushed up here. Here, pushes to you here. Keep it pushed up. Bottom is all pushed up, formed up here. Still push. Still pushed even. Still pushed even here. You're clear. 12's not clear. 12 just got clear. You 2 are clear. Still in line here. Still in line. Still pushed out here. Still pushed out shading top. Outside. Outside just shooting him. Still there just shooting him. 20's with him now. Still all the way up top. Still there. 9's your help in your mirror. All by half. Still 2 eye behind you. Still tight here. 9's your help. Still tight up top. All by half. Still out there, 20. Still there. Still there. 9 still your help. Top still covered. 9 off by half. By quarter. It's to you. Off by half now. Still by 1 now. 9's gonna go up top. Fill the top here. Still tight up top here. 23's your help now. Off by half. Still by half. 43's coming to the top. Still out there, 43. Still there.
Blaney was on point. Here comes Bell. Chase Elliott right there. Larson slid back to 5th. Eric Jones a part of the equation. Outside lane in that green and white 43.
Denny Hamlin back in the top 6 here on the outside line.
Chase Briscoe. Hadn't talked about him in a while. Mentioned the fact he had fallen outside the top 20. But that red, white, and blue 19, last week's winner right in it.
Blaney just takes the lead back that easily. This 12 car has unbelievable outright speed.
He does it by himself so much.
Throws a block there on the 20 car going into turn 1 and 2. Denny trying to get around the outside, can't make it happen.
The runs are bigger, the blocks are bigger.
Yeah, especially after everybody gets down pit road. Ooh, 3 wide there, the 5, 19, 11. It's gonna sort itself out. Chastain on the scene here.
How about that, a lap down, got a free pass in the game. 4 wide, not sure that'll work. Look out, Logano going to right, SVG.
What a save.
Chastain, thank you, coming through.
He will put his nose in the middle of it. There's no doubt about it.
Right here, 4 wide bottom for Chastain, and just it stacks up. Fire out the pipes on the 97, and look at that save sideways.
Great job by everybody there.
Chastain 15th, referenced the comeback he's had tonight.
And now if you're Chase Elliott or Larson, you have to ask yourself, are you settling in here? Because if you don't race, maybe you can protect. Elliott says, nope, turns left down the hill. He wants to go to the point. Listen to the crowd.
Oh, man, hometown guy from Dawsonville. Engine number 9 back on point at Atlanta. Looking for the hat trick here.
Larson to the outside of the 12 now. Depends on where Christopher Bell goes down this front straightaway.
Look at the crowd saluting their guy.
See Bell to the outside with Larson. Blaney's hanging tough down there on the bottom. See Bell's going to push this 5 car to the back bumper of the 9. Chase Elliott goes low, Larson to the top.
Teammates for the top spot. Larson looking outside of Elliott. Bell waiting in the wings.
Blaney 3 wide down the front straightaway.
Slingshot, look at him, number 12, showing the muscle again. And here comes Bubba Wallace in the 23.
That 12, you said it, Steve. He can just do whatever he wants. You can pass him, you can take the lead away. He rebounds so quickly comparable to everyone else.
You've always talked about great cars, when they get a push, they run an extra car length or 2, and that's what the 12 does. When he gets the run, not only can he get door to door, but he can break those bumper planes and make the car clear, take the position. That's going to be the difference maker in the closing laps.
144 laps led for Blaney as we go 3 wide for second. Elliott shooting by on the inside.
200-mile-an-hour game of leapfrog.
I mean, the word was what Dale said earlier, churn. You just get the churn up there inside the top 10, the turnover of positions. They just exchange them back and forth. 50 to go. Now 49 as they cross the start-finish line.
And it's not just positioning, it's education as well. All of these drivers are learning when you need to run, where you need to run. Will it work? Will it not work? What it looks like they're taking every run is true, but they're filling that memory blank. Speaking of every run, here's Hamlin, left turn, 3 wide. Will he clear the 23? I'm not sure.
Clear all the way up.
Clear all the way up. He was waiting to hear it.
When he crossed the wake or the nose of that 23 car, Bubba Wallace lost all the downforce, almost doored the 20. But you got a Ford out front, 2 Chevrolets, and then a bunch of Toyotas back here trying to put it together.
Hamlin's run a great race tonight. When you think about how they've managed the evening, didn't have a great starting spot, quiet in stage 1, got some points in stage 2, and now very much alive, running inside the top 5.
Big run for the 9 here. The 5 sealed right on the back bumper of Chase Elliott down the front straightaway. Chase to the inside for the lead.
Blaney playing defense, can't hold him off. Number 9 jumps back by. Hamlin looking outside as Larson paints the line down low.
That looks like an absolute replay of how Chase Elliott won this race before. That move down into turn 1.
Bubba Wallace around the bottom. Gonna need a little help down there. Fall in behind, right behind this 12 car into 3rd. Denny to the inside. Take it every run.
No, all harder you go. No worries, no worries.
Kyle Larson charging up the inside. Daniel Suarez right there. Great average running position for the 7 tonight after he got inside the top 10. He's really stayed there.
Chastain's still chipping away at it back there in 9th. This is his kind of racetrack.
And his kind of race. You thought you got rid of him. You lapped him early, yet here he is, back in the mix.
He was a runner-up here, 2022 in both races. The first year we went to the drafting configuration here at EchoPark Speedway.
How about that bright white 24 back there, 3 wide with Chastain.
Look at Reddick circling to the front, going inside a chase for the race lead. Got his teammate Bubba Wallace right behind him.
What a swarm of flies.
My gosh. Oh, Bubba got real tight right there.
Wow.
Larson got to his left rear, made him really, really tight. He up the racetrack with 3 wide for the front. Blaney again.
I mean, it's a broken record. The 12 loses it and takes it right back.
Oh, the 9's going to be shot out of a cannon here down the front stretch.
I mean, Bell just hammered that thing and pushes him forward.
The speed, the reaction, the twitch, it's almost like you're watching an RC race. The cars don't look real. They change direction just so quickly. The runs come and go.
Yeah, the top 20 are just all over each other.
And what happens is, we talk about the move Blaney makes. When they get that shove to the bottom and they turn left, you almost need all 3 lanes. You're carrying so much speed, you need the exit, like what the 23 does right here. He turns left. He's going to go in. Now he's going to be looking for the lane to clear the 9. The 9 won't give it to him, so the 23 has to slow his car down, knowing he doesn't have the real estate. Now the 20's going to shove the 9. The 5's going to take advantage of the stack up.
I mean, Larson, a little 2-for-1 into the corner. Goes by the 20 and the 23, Bell and Wallace, and inside of his teammate.
Blaney's sitting out front just trying to drive in front of the line that's got the run. You want to slow that run down. So he's going to try to drive across the nose of the 5 here. The 5 will have to go up the racetrack looking for clean air. Now Blaney's just trying to break the draft, not allow them to get a big run on him down the front straightaway.
40 laps to go. Think about how great Blaney has been. What about Team Penske in the draft? They've won in the draft in 12 consecutive seasons. 0 for 3 so far in 2026. Ryan Blaney trying to do it again for the captain. And don't look now, but things snug when you talk about the regular season championship battle. And Blaney's starting to enter that conversation. Got the margin inside of 70 behind Hamlin and Reddick. And some really good tracks coming for the 12.
Yeah, impressive tonight, and you mentioned it. You look at that short track swing throughout the rest of the summer.
Well, that's if he wins the race. You take the points advantage of the win, and you take the points advantage of sweeping the stages. It's about as good a night as you can have. And that's a big, big swing to your point, Adam.
I think about what we're seeing here tonight, and then I think about the regular season finale at Daytona where Blaney won a year ago. He's an outstanding drafter. This one long from over, though. 37 this time by, still on the board.
We're getting into the part of the run where cars aren't handling that well. They're starting to get tight, starting to get loose, starting to be challenged.
That's where their aggression, I think, could get somebody in trouble, right? Those aggressive moves with fresher tires, they could save the slides. Now you wonder, big move. Who was that? I think it was Suarez. Changed.
I thought he was getting turned into the outside wall.
Look at Reddick leaning on the inside of Larson. 3 wide back there.
No wonder Blaney talks about how he's mentally exhausted after running this race.
Chastain wraps the bottom of 1 and 2, drives up in front of the 43, gets a big push. Just methodically chipping away at it. Up to 6th here on the outside of the 20 of Bell.
Chastain, another driver with a long winless streak. 9 drivers that won a season ago, yet to go to victory lane in 2026. Last time Chastain got a checkered flag, the Coke 600, a season ago. What about the 1, Danielle?
A miraculous comeback inside the top 10 for Ross Chastain. Adam, at one point this car was a lap down in 31st. They got the free pass on lap 108, worked on it every time they came into the pit stall, took 2 tires that last stop, wanted to get track position. Ross Chastain is up to 7th, guys, climbing.
Another car trying to get into the battle back here is Hocevar. Come from the back of the pack. Remember, he had a tire issue not many laps ago. He's had to work really hard to get himself back up here in the front.
Start calling him the comeback kid when it comes to racing at this place. Rallied from a tire issue in the spring as well. Right there with his teammates. Got Suarez behind him as he slides up, and not too far back, Michael McDowell in the 71.
Still battling up front.
Bubba Wallace making a play.
Boy, you want to go back and talk about these guys in the backside of the top 10. They're racing for the lead almost every lap. Blaney needs his teammates up there. They're starting to gang up on him. The Toyotas have now found their way into the top 5. Chastain and Hocevar back there.
Look at Chase Elliott diving to the inside of Bell.
Chastain and Hocevar, that's the start of a good story. Not sure what the second chapter is going to be.
Cut from the same cloth, and both showing some muscle late tonight. Hocevar going after another one.
Well, he told us at pre-race he wanted to be raced hard. Each and every race, he's getting his wish by everyone tonight. No one cutting anyone any slack.
.30 laps to go. Bubba Wallace leads. His teammate Tyler Reddick fourth, Shannon.
Tyler Reddick just told his crew that he is getting a little bit tight, but his crew chief Billy Scott said, you have better tires than the guys in front of you. He took 4 on that last stop. He said, go up there and control the race.
I hear you, man, but I'm telling you, it's tight. I know I got the tires, but I know what the turn of this car's doing.
I'd answer a different way. Good information. I'm not going to see you again, so I'll put it in my notes for the next time, but the next 30 laps are on you.
I'll see you in February.
Yeah. Oh,
look out. Blaney's in the wall.
We led 158 laps tonight, and we got caution for the 5th time this evening.
And he's upset.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got squeezed right there.
Yeah, Blaney said, what was that?
Yeah.
I have no idea what he was doing.
I think
he's getting ready to go let him know, I think, right here.
Wow.
It is hot.
So Allmendinger had the problem. That's why we get the yellow with 29 to go.
Well, Mitrell's going to have to make a decision of how hard he hit the wall. Was there any damage to those right side tires? You see the issue with the 16. It's been a long night for AJ.
You know, it's unfortunate because they came in 16 points below the chase cut line, and you feel like a wild card race like this, maybe there's an opportunity for them to make something happen.
This is AJ back here in the right side of the screen. Just right front tire blows out, and he's hard into the wall. That's unfortunately a tough hit for AJ tonight. And then this is the block of the 23 car, Bubba Wallace, up the racetrack, and there was no contact, but the 12 does. Just 12 gets loose up there and a little bit of the dirty stuff. Take a look at it. Blaney to the top, and Bubba blocks it and turns his 12 sideways when they get really, really high up the racetrack into some of the marbles, I suppose. A little bit dirty up there, maybe.
I understand the frustration as yard board Blaney. You feel like Bubba blocks low and then blocks high as well.
Man, but that's some pretty hard contact, Steve.
Yeah, you might have to think about right side tires for this 12 car. I mean, we saw Hocevar work his way through traffic. He's up to 5th. Blaney's had just such an amazing night, leading 158 laps.
Going to be 33 cars on the lead lap. Todd Gilliland, the last of those, will get the free pass here. Let's get a report, Team 23 radio.
Bubba Wallace just came on the radio, Adam, and wanted to know if Ryan Blaney was upset, Adam. He said, is he pissed? Tell him I'm sorry. They're going to stay out here, want to keep that track position in the lead.
What about Team 12, Marty?
They are talking about pitting, but they will not pit. Jonathan Asper said, I don't think there's damage is bad enough for us to pit. I think it's just a scuff. Blaney's still trying to calm down a little bit from the incident that happened, but they right now are not going to pit for the 12. Hasser thinks everything should be fine and the damage really not that bad. They see Ryan kind of swerving the car back and forth just to make sure there is no rub there.
Well, if you're the back half of the field, you're going to come to pit road right here to find an advantage. All these leaders aren't going to give up track position. You're going to have to go take it. And for that, I think a little bit of extra fuel for some overtime and some fresh Goodyears. The one of Ross Chastain, if he wants to be Mr. Aggressive, running in the 8th position, be the first. And he will be the first. And because of that, he will bring almost every other car behind him to pit road. These runs will get bigger. Your car might handle good. But, Dale, if I shove you off in the corner at 5 or 8 miles an hour faster than you've gone all day, that's how I might be able to go by you, is off the bottom.
I also think here you get an advantage for some of these drivers in the in-season challenge. Maybe that's the difference in advancing. Here's the one, Danielle.
Here comes Ross Chastain, the one pulling into his box. He told his crew chief, Brandon McSwain, I am tightest on entry and exit. Let's see what the call is here. Looks like Ross Chastain getting 4 tires as he cracked the top 10 on that run. Meanwhile, Chase Elliott just finished his stop, told his crew chief, my car is tight, but balance is good.
11 cars stay on the racetrack. Gonna be inside of 25 laps to go at Atlanta. Glad you're with us. It's NASCAR on TNT. Racing in the draft tonight, other end of the spectrum next weekend. Short track racing at North Wilkesboro. Saturday, it's the trucks on FS1, 12:30 Eastern Time. NASCAR Nation on the air Sunday at 6. TNT has the coverage from North Wilkesboro. 450 laps of short track goodness. We look forward to that. And now we do our Cowshe market odds. Cowshe traders are currently forecasting Denny Hamlin to win the in-season challenge.
That's who I picked. Sound like they're pretty smart.
I got to tell you, though, he's behind Christopher Bell, who he heads up with tonight. So
I'm going to get at it tonight first.
Yeah, we got a long, well, we don't have a long way to go, but a lot more racing. Going to be 23 laps remaining in the Quaker State 400 available at Walmart.
I mean, my guy Chase Elliott's still in it, too, at the moment.
We got a ticked off Brian Blaney. Hopefully he's calmed down a little bit. And then we got a lot of new tires, Steve. We talked about it during the break.
Yeah.
A lot of new tires coming from the back and a lot of, only a few laps to do it. Really pretty crazy.
Teammates outside lane. Blaney getting help from Hocevar down low. 23 to settle it at Atlanta.
Big jump by the outside line there. Good launch for the 23. Back to the inside, though. Here comes Blaney. They separate the Toyotas. You got Hocevar pushing.
Blaney assist to Hocevar back on point. Boy, that thing was dancing big time, but he hangs on to it. And now Hocevar coming through the inside.
Well, and that wave of pressure with those new tires 8 or 10 rows back is going to be real.
Ryan Blaney just said, I have a massive vibration after that restart, Steve.
Oh, remember that wall contact? He didn't get a chance to feel it out. He was into the wall when the caution came out. Damage on the right sides. Maybe it's a bent wheel, something like that. Obviously, there's air in the tires, but the 12's going to have to ride it out at this point.
Well, it doesn't look slow.
For third.
It doesn't look slow as he takes the lead back from the 77 of Hocevar.
First driver in that group came down the pit lane. You got Shane Van Gisbergen up there.
3 by 3 by 3 by.
Look at this.
It's just crazy. I don't know how they could do this much longer without some kind of a mistake. 4 wide back there. Multiple rows back.
That's what's going to happen. We've seen people get out of shape and people behind them be patient and allow them to gather it up. There's going to be less patience. They're going to try to push the issue, not give enough space. That's how the wreck can happen.
You know, the other thing here, Dale, we talk about mental focus. We're past 1 o'clock in the morning. You had the long delay. Now you got to put it all together for the most important part of the night.
These laps are going to go by quick. This race will be over before you know it. Oh, we got a car down through the grass.
19 to go. Caution number 6.
Keep it spinning, try to stop right here and get it.
We're going to have to see how bad Blaney feels that vibration is. Do they dare pit from the lead? I don't think you can. But I'm not in the car. I don't know how bad the vibration is, how much he's riding it out. It's going to be a tough decision for the 12. 5 of Larson gets it righted.
He was 8th when he went sliding through the infield grass.
I mean, you see right there in the pylon, old tires that have made contact with the wall for the 12 of Blaney.
But I don't want to lose a lap.
There's top of 3 and 4, kind of by himself.
Yeah.
Oh, a stack up.
My goodness.
There's the answer right there. They're stack up. They all check up, and the 5 just kind of gets spit out of line. Try not to run the 11 and the 54 over. Let me see that one more time. What was the stack up?
45 getting out of the gas area. He's tight behind the 43.
It's not too far from where Larson went for a ride here in the spring. Slid down, had that contact with Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yeah, just nowhere to go. That's what's going to happen as we get closer to the finish. We're right on top of the finish of this race, but there's going to be a lot of guys getting in spots that are bad. They're going to jump out of the gas, and it's too late to lift now. It's too late in the game to lift. You can't really afford to cut guys' brakes. And
45 just lost the handle.
Yeah.
Just kind of got in a little bit of dirty air and up the track.
You know, something to think about here as we get this reset. Those drivers that came down at lap 234. I referenced Shane Van Gisbergen. He got 2 tires. He's shown 7th right now. The guys that got 4, Chastain 10th, Buescher 11th. This reset probably a good thing for them.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing because it bunches the field back up. The negative is they're losing laps, right? And they're probably hoping that the tires up front get a little hot and slick. Bubba Wallace running 4th. Let's listen into the radio on the 23.
What data? Just let me pick lane at the end of the day. That was stupid. Yep, sure was. I think I got it figured out. Let me drive the car. Okay, I'm done.
Not sure what he's talking about, but I
he's
appreciate the animation.
He's disappointed that I guess they made a decision by committee, or he was given information on what lane to choose for this particular last restart. It didn't work out well, and he was disappointed in that decision. Felt like that maybe his personal choice would have been a better situation for them.
That's some driver speak.
Yeah.
He just translated. Adam, you and I looked at each other like, what the heck's he talking about? Dan's like, oh, I'll tell you what I know exactly what he means.
Yeah. I definitely do not speak that language.
I was like, hey. I speak driver or crew chief eye roll, crew chief head shake. Those, I understand that animation. The radios, sometimes I need a little translation.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Daytona 500 champion. He is a NASCAR radio interpreter. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Let's get an update. Driver 12, 165 out front. Now it's time to try and finish it, Marty.
So Ryan Blaney did talk about the vibration with the spotter Tim Fedewa. Listen in.
I thought it something broke. I wanted to be at the fence. If it did break, they're down the back. Did it get any better? No, it's terrible, but it's driving fine. It's probably just paint in the wheels.
It's terrible is the quote, Dale Jr. So how are you going to manage that, number one? But number two, long debate on the radio about which lane to choose. We just heard Bubba Wallace's thoughts on lane choice. Jonathan Hassler weighing in on that. Tim Fedewa as well. Blaney said, Jr., my inclination is to go with the top, but the last 2 restarts have been one from the bottom. It's Blaney's choice. What would you choose?
Yeah, I think the bottom is the one that I like the best. I have seen that happen over and over again where it looks like the outside gets the launch, but as we go down into turn 3, the inside side drafts and then wraps the shorter route on the bottom and can clear by the time they get to turn 2. So I kind of like that bottom groove, and he believes that some of the paint or something, some of the paint on the wall has gotten in between the wheel and the tire when he went up there and brushed the wall, and that may have the wheel out of balance, and that's the vibration he feels.
I just want to set the stage of what Blaney was saying there, because I think we all take for granted what these guys do. I wanted to be close to the wall in case whatever it was broke. So he doesn't slow down, he doesn't lift, he doesn't come to pit road. He literally just moves his car closer to the wall in case whatever breaks goes bad. It's gonna, I guess, hit.
Route. Yeah, it's a short route. Richard Petty used to run against the wall back in the 70s, and it was because he said if anything bad happens, I didn't have a long way to go before I hit the wall.
Blaney goes low here. Hocevar, who pushed him last time from the inside lane, goes outside. He'll take the front row. So it's going to be Bell behind Blaney this time around. The greatest week in history is almost here. Shark Week starts Sunday, July 26th on Discovery.
Yeah, we all know Blaney has had some massive hits in this next-gen car, so he knows how that can work out if he did have sort of a failure of any kind being at the bottom of the racetrack.
What's going on, Danielle?
Let's take a listen to Carson Hocevar. Here's his mindset, Adam, with 15 to go on the radio.
Keep ripping there with him. See if we can get away from him.
Shake and bake.
Carson Hocevar is having fun referencing that Talladega Nights famous quote. He said, winners choose the front row, Luke. We're staying out. Luke said, I want you to be deliberate with your blocks. Be very calculated here, Carson. Be smart.
Hocevar loose as a goose. And Luke Lambert, I mean, he's all business on the pit box, you know?
I'm not sure calculated is in the vocabulary of the man behind the wheel. He's an artist. That's not a negative. I'm saying he's an artist. He just drives what he feels. This is not a measured approach.
We go green with 14 to go. Blaney in charge next to Hocevar.
Again, another good launch by the outside line, but we're a little more organized on the inside here. Pretty even, though, as we push through turns 1 and 2. Big run coming from behind, the 43.
Chase Elliott back there making it happen in the 9. He's one of those on some fresher tires. Blaney and Hocevar stay side by side.
That outside line's going to be organized. That's going to get Hocevar clear into the lead.
Bubba, nice shove of the 77. Hocevar's seen a lot tonight, but he's on point with 13 to go.
Briscoe in the wall just a little bit.
Remaining for Carson Hocevar. And they're dicing behind him. Look at Shane Van Gisbergen. 3 wide outside lane going to the outside of the 45 of Reddick. Austin Dillon right there in the mix. And here comes Blaney down low in the 12.
Blaney just can't get any help down there on the bottom. Running 3 wide behind him. Nobody's clear to be able to come up there and give that 12-car push.
Hamlin and Reddick doing a pretty nice job moving up a little bit each and every lap. Reddick all the way to the 3rd row on the bottom. He's got a clear belt.
Oh, he up the racetrack. He's going to go to the outside of the 12 here, help his teammate, Bubba Wallace.
10 laps remain at Atlanta.
Giving Blaney a push. That's what he needs to the inside of Hocevar.
He's been the car all night long. Started on the pole, swept the stages, closing on 170 laps led. Here's Blaney with a lead, 9 remaining.
And another example of this 12 car. Very few can take that push to the lead. They take it door to door, but the 12 clears the 77, goes back in control.
Hocevar to the outside. Still trying to get there, can't quite do it. Bubba Wallace to the inside of the 77.
Chase Elliott continues to rally.
Those fresher tires helping the 9 run the bottom with success. The 20 will go to the bottom. I bet the 9 follows right around the yellow line. There it is. The 23 blocks.
Bell second with 8 to go. He's been a runner-up 4 times this year, including last weekend at Chicagoland.
Bubba getting to the quarter panel of the 20 of Bell. Hocevar's going to get a little help by the 45 here down the front straightaway. Hocevar, what's he going to do to the outside?
3 wide for second, 7 to go.
Oh, 43, Eric Jones in the wall. He recovers. Reddick pushing Hocevar clear.
Bell charging down low. Six laps to go, 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Hocevar, 77 trying to get the top spot. Bubba Wallace sliding through. What a mix at the front.
45 in the wall, a little bit of a wreck behind him. Larson spinning to the inside wall. Big wreck into turn 3.
Caution is out. That's number 7.
Briscoe involved.
Riley
Multiple
Herbst's
cars.
got a piece of it. This could set us up for overtime.
Heavy damage to the 19. He's not going to be able to continue. He's going to need some help. The 35 of Herbst on pit road. The 5, heavy damage as well.
Guys were just outside the top 10.
It was almost a matter of time. They were wrecking every lap. Just nobody could seem to get spun around. And then finally, this is exiting turn 2. The 5 in the middle, 3 wide. Hamlin up top.
Yeah, he's just going to get up there, not clear on the outside. Drives across the nose of Hamlin, and then Briscoe gets out of shape on the bottom of the racetrack, and multiple cars collected there going into turn 3.
Yeah. Just a miscommunication or a misunderstanding of where the 11 was. It was far enough off the corner. They were basically straight. But he just obviously didn't feel he had a car to his right.
And he just spins, trying to avoid hard contact. Gets into Austin Hill there. Joe Logano lucky to get by. Ty Dillon gets a little bit of contact there as well. 35, 48 goes spinning down the racetrack. That kind of derails a lot of great momentum that Briscoe had rolling over the last couple of weeks.
No doubt.
And also hurts a little bit of the cushion the 5 car of Larson had to the cars behind him in points in 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Larson in 6th currently.
One of those guys chasing him, Hocevar, and right now scored as the race leader.
It's just an odd wreck. I'd be interested to see what Larson has to say. You know, whether we heard of the spotter radio. These spotters have been working all night. The amount of information is unbelievable. But at some point, the 5 didn't know the 11 was there. I thought the 11 had every right to be in that position. And you see the damage across the left front of the 11.
Yeah, and 3 of the guys involved, a part of the in-season challenge. Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman all looking to advance. Let's get some 11 radio.
Do you have any damage? I don't know. I got pinched in the fence, so I don't know. Whatever you can see. Yeah, we're looking at pictures. I just didn't know if you were aware of anything. No, nothing on the tires other than this is plowing.
Not happy with the
Now,
balance.
I can translate that driver
Yeah.
speak. That means the car is a little tighter than Denny would prefer it to be at this moment. You have to ask yourself, with the in-season challenge, Briscoe off, a potential flat left front tire, and the point situation, you know, Reddick is 4th. You wonder if you'd be better to come take tires. Denny running 11th, though. I think you might, you know, they're counting points, staying on the racetrack.
Let's go down to Danielle.
With Charles Denny here, Bubba Wallace's crew chief, they're going to line up 3rd on this restart. Charles, what do you make of your chances? What's your message to your driver?
Yeah, chances are good. No real message needed. He knows what he needs to do. The Columbia Toyota Camry's been really strong all night long. Bubba's doing great. We had to come back to the front from the back there one time and got back up here. So we're in it. We're in it to win it. So hopefully we can close it out here.
What's going to be the key on this restart?
Passing whoever's in front of us, depending on what lane we're in.
We wish you the best of luck, Charles.
Thank you.
Adam?
Yeah, this restart is going to be wild. The choose is going to be huge.
Yeah, I mean, there really is no plan. You're going to try to get some help if you can, or be a good pusher if you can, but at some point you're going to have to get selfish and try to make a move that you think could deliver a victory. Let's listen to some radio here with Hocevar.
Can't get that song out of my head right now, man. I don't know what the lyrics is, but it's you know. If I die in your arms tonight.
Yeah, that's Carson Hocevar. I think, honestly, you know, I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about that, but I think that that's his way of sort of breaking the nervous tension and the anxiety or the pressure of the moment, is to try to divert his attention or his mind elsewhere, or at least try to show his team that he's not rattled. I don't know what else to think about that.
Might loosen things up for him and maybe take some pressure off of the guys around him on that 77 team as well. Shannon?
Yeah, here with the crew chief for Tyler Reddick, Billy Scott. You guys are right there in the mix, Billy. We did hear Tyler say a little while ago that it was a little tight. What kind of car do you guys have for this final stretch?
Yeah, it was back in traffic anyway, but being up in clean air, it's been driving great, and it's tough to overcome those two up front, but we just got to hope we get a good run at the right time.
What is your message to him right now? Is it just it's in his hands, go get it?
Yeah, it is. Take every run, and again, something has to work out right, and hope we're in the right spot again.
Thank you, Billy.
You're welcome.
I don't know what goes on the inside, but Billy Scott just always presents positivity and confidence.
Well, first, it comes down to where you're going to choose, and then where do you think you want to be? Oh, wow.
That sounded better than the Carson Hocevar version, you know what I mean?
I wonder if that was from the crew chief. I'm telling you, these guys are a trip.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, he's looking for his second straight win in the draft. I mean, you think about the way things ended at Talladega and what a big moment that was.
So, you know, you would think that, you know, if a crew chief team or whatever heard that, they would think, hey, man, you know, come on, get your head in the game. But they embrace it, and they let him be him. If that's what works for them, that's what works for them. Everybody's going to have an opinion about it. But they don't try to steer him differently. They let him be him.
Here's that wild finish at Talladega.
Hard hits.
Hocevar gets it done. That epic celebration. I can only imagine what he'll do here tonight as we head toward 2 a.m. in the east.
I bet you he already knows.
I'm sure he does. It's been rehearsed.
Yeah.
We are going to go to overtime.
He had a big plan for San Diego. He's going to jump in the ocean and have the Navy Sadie. He said he was going to do it, and I believe that he was definitely going to try.
Overtime rules, 2-lap shootout. If the leader gets the white flag, next flag ends the race. If the caution comes out before the leader gets the white, we reset and do it all again. Unlimited attempts.
For me, it all is going to come down to the white flag lap. I think first it's this choose, but what I've seen all night long are the front four cars get locked up 2 by 2. They push through 1 and 2. They stay connected down into 3 and 4. But when we see the white flag, the momentum from row 3 and 4 will be coming. What can these two do?
After seeing the inside line win the restarts over the last 3 or 4, I'm surprised by the decision of Hocevar to take the top. We'll see if that was a choice that works out for them, if he has a plan to make that top work.
Gonna have Reddick behind him. Blaney down low. Gonna have Bubba Wallace with an assist. Remember the little run-in they had just a handful of laps ago.
You might imagine that Bubba's sitting back there thinking, man, I owe him one, right?
Yes.
And so I would say that Bubba's going to do everything he can to give his buddy Blaney the best push he can.
If the front four stay organized, in my mind, it's Bell or SVG. They usually break off. Who in the third row starts going forward? And when they do they pull out a line and go 3 wide, or do they shove? That will be different than the restarts we've seen tonight.
Hocevar is going to have a great launch, I think, to clear this 12, or it'll be difficult for him to have the lead going into turn 3.
The other thing, make sure you get your move in at the right time, because once we get the white flag, it may be too late. If the caution comes out, the race at that point would be over. It's overtime, presented by Credit One Bank. Had a red flag of over 3 hours because of rain. Closing on 2 a.m. in the east. Bonus time for all these fans. Hocevar, Blaney, front row.
Almost the perfect launch, but here comes the 12 car to the inside. They're going to wrap the bottom. Blaney should be clear. He's clear. They've come undone, though. There's no connection between the 23 and the 12. Big run coming down on the outside line here. Big run. Hocevar is going to stay to the outside.
Blaney can't get the block. Reddick pushing Hocevar to the race lead. SVG is right there to make it 3 wide. What a move for second. Coming back to the white flag. Hocevar way out front.
Run the bottom.
Big run. Come from the 12 and the 23 down the front straightaway.
Blaney goes outside. He's been great all night long, leading 170 laps, trying to get around Hocevar.
What does Bubba do? We got a wreck on the back straightaway. Bubba 3 wide below the line. That's going to be a penalty, I'm afraid.
3 wide for the lead. Through turns 3 and 4. Bell pushing Blaney. Middle lane, Hocevar. Back to the checkered flag. It's going to be Ryan Blaney who wins it in Atlanta. Oh my, what a dominating win.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Hell of a job.
Great job, guys.
Best car all day long.
Really cool, man.
Pole, stage sweep, lead 171, and by this much, take the checkered flag, win number 2 of the season.
Did everything right behind the wheel, forced the 20 to help. The 20 did. Right here is the push. Blaney knows he has him pinned there. He just kind of doesn't let the 20 get to his outside. Stays in the gas, the 20 squeezes through, and that's the shove needed.
13 straight seasons, Team Penske has put one of their cars in victory lane in the draft. Blaney won here in the old configuration 2021. He's been great here in the draft, but never been able to finish the deal. Tonight's the night, and he hit him right between the eyes. What an impressive performance for driver 12.
You mentioned the twos, it surprised you, and Blaney took control, gave it back, but then found a way to find offense again.
19 career victories for this 32-year-old from High Point, North Carolina.
This was the perfect combination of a driver making all the right decisions, but a race car that had the advantage. This car all night, when it got help, it stretched its legs. It pushed out front. Once again, that shove from the 20. It was clear who had the fastest car tonight. Ryan Blaney did an amazing job of driving the fastest car to victory lane.
2 wins this season for Ford, both courtesy of Ryan Blaney. And this is win number 750 for the Blue Oval. A milestone night for Ford. And the last 6 times they've seen their cars in victory lane at the Cup level, it's been this guy that got it done. Fireworks budget is big at EchoPark Speedway. And here's Marty Snyder.
Adam, you never know what you'll see around 2 a.m. at a racetrack. And the fans who stuck around here in Atlanta got to see a special one, a 3-wide finish with one of the most popular drivers in NASCAR, Ryan Blaney, going to victory lane here in Atlanta again. What an impressive performance, a max points day for this 12 team. Win the pole, win stage 1, win stage 2, win the race. And as is customary, Ryan Blaney will take the flag, find a young fan in the stands, point him out, and they get to walk home with that checkered flag. Doing that right now. What a night, everyone, for Ryan Blaney. Holy smokes, man. Take me through that overtime restart.
Yeah, pretty wild. You know, I was second. It's okay. Just take the front row, and we'll see who get behind me. And Bubba gave me really good shoves. You know, on the restart, we got hooked up really good. And then, yeah, Bubba and I got a huge run down the front straightaway. And I was able to get to the outside of Carson. Wasn't able to clear him. And then Bubba went 3-wide bottom down the back, which, you know, lined up for a really cool finish at the line. And I really have to shout out Christopher Bell for being right on my bumper all the way through 3 and 4 and big push. He was a big reason why we won the race, so I appreciate that, Christopher. But the fans, thank you guys for sticking around, guys. Man.
At 2 a.m.
Yeah, is it 2 a.m.?
Almost.
Past my bedtime, but it ain't past y'all. So thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us.
How tough was driving with that vibration after you made the wall contact late in the race?
Yeah, I just, you know, I tried to make a move and just got loose and hit the fence. And, you know, I think it's just concrete in the wheels and paint and stuff like that. But luckily, it still drove fairly decent. So I'm happy we were able to make back up for it. I missed the block on the top, down the back stretch. We just got separated. And but, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Luckily, it wasn't any damage. We couldn't keep running. But I appreciate Body Armor, Flash IV. It's a really cool paint scheme we got on this thing. Appreciate Ford Racing, Ford Motor Company, Menards, Advanced Auto Parts, Dex Imaging, the Worth Group, Wabash, everybody who makes this possible, and pretty cool to win here.
What a dominant car, and what a way to bring it home for Ryan Blaney and Team Penske here in Atlanta, Adam.